Chapter 81. Hire Luo He, the God Lord? The massive mechanical secret treasure hovered, its sensors trained on the inconspicuous little cave below, though an uncharacteristic tremor of caution ran through it. Martial Uncle, the guildmaster ordered long ago that Luo He, the God Lord's cave, must not be touched, one disciple warned. I know, the mechanical treasure replied coldly. Don't be fooled by the Heart Shadow sect's current swagger, sweeping through Huyang City and seizing cave after cave. Before they left Shi country, they had investigated every detail of the city. They knew, down to the owner, every cave in the Hundunjia district. Chaos Armor 913. Luo He's cave was on the list of places expressly forbidden to encroach. I am the Tower Master of the Huyang branch of Yunbao Tower. Are you going to occupy my cave? The one-eyed Tower Master shouted angrily as Heart Shadow sect forces descended. A super-large mechanical treasure patrolling high above swept him a look, and a cold voice rang down. Yunbao Tower Master of the Huyang branch, if you don't want to die, leave at once. The Tower Master met that gaze and felt something ice-cold in his chest. He swallowed his pride and bowed his head. Fine, I'll move right away. He packed some common items and 2 old retainers, then left without waiting for his other subordinates. The rest fled in panic. I am Chu Shi-san, Vice Guild Master of the Qianxi Business Association's Huyang branch, another stern old man roared. Are you really going to occupy my cave? A gigantic plant-like life form descended more gently than the mechanical treasure. Vice Guild Master Chu, it said slowly, don't make this difficult. If you stay here, once war breaks out, you'll be affected. It's better to leave now. Chu Shi-san understood the calculus. The Qianxi Business Association was powerful, but prided itself on trade and stability. Provoking disaster in one branch was not worth drawing the headquarters' ire. The eternal true gods who supported the association would be reluctant to wade into a dispute between Shi country and Yu country. He ground his teeth but nodded. All right, I'll move. Luo Feng, accompanied by Morosa and Moyu Qingyan, returned to their cave and climbed to the mountaintop to watch. From his vantage, he could see the whole district, even through the city's grand array. It's loud out there, Morosa said. The Heart Shadow sect is seizing caves frantically. Luo Feng scanned the scene with a calm smile. Local families, dark factions, branches of powerful organizations, the caves of Hundunjia are being taken one after another. Moyu Qingyan tensed, watching the distant flying ships and mechanical giants. Master, they didn't touch our cave. Morosa puffed out his cheeks. They're arrogant, but smart. They know who not to rile. Don't underestimate them, Luo Feng said. He had no intention of joining the larger struggle between Lord Luyin and the Ninjiang Marquise. His priority was growth. The 3 most ancient lords of Shi country were his real enemies, and he had to be careful. A communication token flashed in his hand. The Huyang City Lord's voice came through. Brother Luo He, the Heart Shadow sect has struck Huyang City. Their strength is overwhelming. My City Lord's mansion cannot hold. The Marquise will send reinforcements, the City Lord continued, but we must defend the City Lord's mansion. It's the core of Huyang City. Luo Feng hesitated. He was a freelance, unattached, eternal true god. He did not want to be dragged into the power struggle and risk being killed. City Lord, he replied, how can I, alone, resist a force like the Heart Shadow sect? My strength isn't enough. No eternal true god in all of Yu country could resist them alone, the City Lord answered. But if you come to the mansion, your help could turn the tide. Any conditions you want can be negotiated. Luo Feng considered, then tested the waters. 100 million cosmic sand. Hire me for that, and I'll help. The City Lord was stunned. 100 million cosmic sand was a colossal sum. Most Chaos Masters never kept that much on hand. Their territories provided steady income, but also endless demands. A bounty of 10 million for Blood Cloud, the God Lord, was already considered high. 30 to 50 million could buy the services of a top eternal true god, so 100 million was audacious. It's not an unreasonable price, Luo Feng murmured to himself. He would report the offer to the Marquise and wait. The City Lord promised to inform the Marquise, and the link cut off. Luo Feng reflected privately. The price wasn't excessive for what he could offer, but he would present his power as only a hair above the strongest eternal true gods in Yu country. He had the perfect divine body, but he intended to appear only as strong as the upper limit of the infinite divine body. If he revealed far more than that, ancient eyes might notice, and he couldn't afford that risk. He carried Zuo Shenk's revenge and humanity's future in his small universe. Caution was mandatory. All the surrounding caves are taken, Morosa remarked. Only the 5 great families' caves and Master's Cave remain. They're really overreaching. Ninjiang Marquis won't simply stand by, Luo Feng said. At the Heart Shadow Sect's temporary assembly in the old Zhu Clan cave, the guild master and 18 elders debated strategy. In Hundunjia, only the 5 great families, caves, and Luo He's little cave remain, an elder reported. Should we move on the 5 great families? No rush, the 3-eyed leader said. We must first placate the 2 major dangers in Huyang City, the Yanfeng Guild and Luo He, the God Lord. The elders nodded. The Yanfeng Guild had been formed by the most powerful factions from Yanfeng Ancient Kingdom. It wielded terrifying influence. Provoking it would invite direct intervention, possibly the Lord of Shi country himself, capturing and delivering the offenders to Yanfeng for punishment. Worse than provoking the 9-source Great Sage. The 3 most powerful forces in the city are Yanfeng Guild, and the strongest individual is Luo He, the God Lord. Send Heart's Eye Elder to meet with Luo He, the 3-eyed man ordered. Only Heart's Eye Elder, commonly called the Blind Elder, was suitable. He had been the most powerful, eternal true god when the Heart Shadow Sect ruled 3 chaos states and had since cultivated deeper in the world. No other elder dared face a possible clash with Luo He in person. Soon, the Blind Elder and 2 disciples arrived outside Chaos Armor 913. One disciple knocked, and an invisible aura rolled out with the sound. Heart's Eye Elder of the Heart Shadow Sect has come to visit Luo He, the God Lord, he proclaimed. The cave door opened. Mo Yu Qingyan smiled. My master is waiting. The Blind Elder looked up and felt it immediately, that vast, majestic aura on the nearby mountaintop. It confirmed what he already suspected, the infinite divine body. The feeling was complex. Though he had cultivated the bloodline path and achieved astonishing results, this aura still sat a notch above him. He had defeated some infinite divine bodies before, and he had his confidence, but he approached with restraint. In an instant, he and his 2 disciples were on the mountaintop. Luo Feng sat in the pavilion, leisurely sipping wine. He noticed the Blind Elder's restrained outward calm, hiding an edge of relentless sharpness. That hidden sharpness even threatened Luo Feng's Shengmi domain, the invisible formation born of his 3 creation and destruction techniques. Heart's Eye greets Luo He, the God Lord, the Blind Elder said, and his disciples bowed. I have long heard of Heart's Eye Elder's reputation. Please, sit, Luo Feng replied with an inviting smile. Qingyan, serve the wine. Chapter 82, Sparring Blind. Elder settled onto a seat, his 2 disciples standing behind him. Mo Yu Qingyan personally brought out fruit and fine wine. Please, Luo Feng said, raising his cup. Blind Elder poured for himself as well. Among powerful cultivators, even blindness didn't mean helplessness. Eyes could be trained into senses as sharp as any organ. Many cultivators had divine bodies that were gaseous or liquid, with no eyes at all. Blindness was less a handicap than a difference. Please, Blind Elder returned the gesture. After a cup of wine, Blind Elder smiled. Before coming to Huyang City, I had already heard of God Monarch Luo He's great name. Even General Yonghu in Yu Country's capital couldn't stop God Monarch Bloodcloud from escaping, despite Huyang City's grand array. Yet God Monarch Luo He, overnight, you slew Yu Tianhu, Yu Tianyi, and even Bloodcloud when he fled. Your strength surpasses General Yonghu's. General Yonghu worried about the people of the city and feared too many casualties, Luo Feng replied. That's why Bloodcloud escaped. The Yanfeng Guild sells recordings of the clash between Yonghu and Bloodcloud. Anyone can see Bloodcloud's power, Blind Elder continued. That only makes the Heart Shadow Sect admire God Monarch Luo He more. Our Gatemaster ordered us, upon arriving in Huyang City, do not offend the God Monarch. The Gatemaster is too gracious, Luo Feng said with a smile. Mo Yu Qingyan, serving at the side, pricked up his ears. Don't offend the master? The Heart Shadow Sect clearly took that seriously. This time, the Heart Shadow Sect has come to Huyang City seeking a place to live, Blind Elder sighed. It's hard for a sect to survive these days. For the sake of survival, our disciples are prepared to do whatever it takes. I ask God Monarch Luo He to understand and not interfere in our affairs. Luo Feng listened. I'm not an official of you country, nor am I of your she country. I'm just a wandering cultivator, he said with a shrug. Who I help depends on resources. If there are enough resources to hire me, how could I refuse? Blind Elder's expression flickered. The implication was clear. He wanted Luo Feng to promise not to intervene in Huyang City's current conflict. Enough resources to hire? Blind Elder asked. How much would it take to hire God Monarch Luo He? I treat everyone equally, Luo Feng said. You country's already given me favors, but I haven't committed to them. If the Heart Shadow sect wishes to hire me, 200 million cosmic sand will do. 200 million cosmic sand. Blind Elder's face twitched. He couldn't help thinking Luo Feng had the audacity to name such a price. Luo Feng watched him with calm eyes. The Lord of Yu Country had given Luo Feng a leaf from a void illusion mother tree. The Ninjiang Marcus had given him 10 million cosmic sand as thanks. Quoting 100 million to Yu Country would be a courtesy. 200 million to the Heart Shadow sect was likewise reasonable. If the sect agreed and the news got out, Yu Country would have no grounds to complain. Luo Feng was offering a bargain. I'm a wandering cultivator. I help whoever has the resources, Luo Feng said. I believe Heart's Eye Elder understands. The mention of 200 million made the two disciples behind Blind Elder and Mo Yu Qingyan tremble inwardly. It was an enormous sum. I understand. Resources are hard to come by, even for our disciples, Blind Elder said. I once roamed and challenged many experts. With your strength, God Monarch, perhaps we could spar a little? Spar? Luo Feng nodded. Very well. Blind Elder, sensing Luo Feng's confidence, agreed at once. I'll arrange a larger place. This open area in my dwelling will do, Luo Feng said. It's only sparring. You might damage the God Monarch's dwelling, Blind Elder protested. If it breaks, you don't have to pay, Luo Feng said with a smile and stood. How generous, Blind Elder murmured, standing as well. His two disciples and Mo Yu Qingyan all became a little tense. They moved to the open area of Luo Feng's dwelling. Morosa, Mo Yu Qingyan, and the Heart Shadow disciples watched from the corners. Please, Luo Feng said, smiling. Blind Elder flicked his fingers and produced a black spike. It looked ordinary, dull luster, no visible secret patterns. Since it was supposed to be sparring, neither side flared their divine power. Their auras were restrained. This God Monarch wants to stay neutral and immediately asks for 200 million? Blind Elder thought. If I make him feel the gap in our strength, he'll be more compliant. He warned, God Monarch, be careful, and thrust the spike forward. The spike tore through Luo Feng's Shengmi domain, the domain Luo Feng had spread around the dwelling. The Shengmi domain, a blend of 3 Chaos Realm techniques, manifested like a massive Taiji cloud, rotating with force several times that of a single control chaos technique. Blind Elder's thrust ripped and churned through that obstruction. Energy waves surged, and the spike struck Luo Feng's robe. Luo Feng remained motionless. On his garment, a hazy protective robe appeared. Luo Feng's Shengmi domain condensed, merged with 2 chaos relation techniques into a protective chaos robe formed from 5 combined techniques. Not as mighty as God Monarch Blood Cloud's 9-technique array, but a formidable defense. Still, the spike pierced it. Luo Feng's skin bled, just a small red dot, but blood all the same. Blind Elder blinked and instinctively recoiled. Amazing, Luo Feng said. Heart's Eye Elder's casual thrust can break through my domain and protective robe and even injure me. Blind Elder felt alarmed. This seemingly mundane thrust had been one of his supreme killing moves, a technique that had allowed him to dominate regions. I cultivated the God King legacy, 6 destructions of annihilation, and combined 7 Chaos Realm techniques to form this thrust, he thought. It once severely wounded an infinite divine body, but against God Monarch Luo He, it only pierced the skin? He followed with a more dangerous move. His figure blurred and split into 13 images in an instant. Whoosh, 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 each image launching a strike. Individually terrifying, their combined force was earth-shattering. Luo Feng silently assessed. As befits a God King sect disciple, an array of combined techniques, defending with a robe won't be enough. He decided to answer in kind. Luo Feng extended his left hand. His arm swelled, his palm expanding as if to cover the sky. Each of his 5 fingers contained a 2-colored vortex. His whole palm became a miniature chaotic world. This was the 10 Directions Annihilation Palm, one of Luo Feng's 6 great killing moves, an offensive palm fused from 10 Chaos Realm techniques and executed by a perfect divine body refined 3 times. If the 10 Directions Immeasurable Blade from Breaking World 9 Blades was primarily defensive, this palm was pure offense. When the convergent black thrust met Luo Feng's enormous palm, the impact tore at both sides. Hidden within the collision were 2 different paths. On one side, a God King legacy that built power through step-by-step accumulation toward the Chaos Realm. On the other, a confrontation with the Life Origin Great Path and the profound mysteries of the Destruction Origin, further fused into chaos. Luo Feng restrained himself. Too much force would reveal more than he wished. Even limited to the strength of an infinite divine body, his palm was enough. Under that crushing palm, the black thrust shattered and was annihilated. Blind Elder stared, stunned. Luo He is an infinite divine body of the Law lineage. His realm accumulation is even greater than mine, he realized. If he were of the bloodline cultivation system, he might already be a Chaos Realm expert. Luo Feng nodded in praise. Heart's Eye Elder, your array techniques are formidable. I had to use my ultimate move. Do you have anything more? You need not compare further. I am indeed inferior to God Monarch Luo He, Blind Elder said, humbled. This sparring has broadened my horizons. God Monarch Luo He, I shall take my leave and will report your hiring price to the Heart Shadow Gate Master. Good, Luo Feng said with a smile as Blind Elder turned and left with his 2 disciples. Throughout the fight, Luo Feng's Sheng Mi domain had cloaked the area. Blind Elder, also holding back on channeling true divine power, limited the scope. The open area showed pits and uneven ground, but nothing catastrophic. With a thought, the ground quickly repaired itself. Master, this Heart's Eye Elder is quite strong, Morosa said. He should be stronger than Blood Cloud. Indeed, Luo Feng agreed. Blood Cloud's array was crude by comparison. Heart's Eye Elder's killing moves are more seamless and powerful, worthy of a God King level sect. Luo Feng reflected quietly. He, too, possessed 2 God King level inheritances. But his master, Zuo Shanqi, was a God King of the artifact refining lineage and left no God King legacy suited to Luo Feng. Duan Donghe's 3rd-generation master had left 3 God King inheritances, Broken Extinction, Donghua, and Undying River, but they were auxiliary. It was frustrating. Both Zuo Shanqi and the 3rd-generation master had only recently entered the God King level, which explained why their fates had been so precarious. One fled into the universe sea, the other perished. Strength laid the foundation. Not long after, Heart Shadow Gate Master Feng Yuqi returned from visiting the Yanfeng Guild. Heart's Eye Elder, how did your visit with God Monarch Luo He go? I heard you sparred? I asked him not to interfere, but he named a fee of 200 million cosmic sand. Blind Elder frowned. So I used the backup plan, spar with him to pressure him. But in the exchange, his divine body was stronger than mine, and his realm surpassed mine. Feng Yuqi frowned. Both the old ancestors said your accumulation is deep, Heart's Eye Elder. You only need an opportunity to break through. His realm is truly higher than yours? Only a bit higher, still essentially the same level, Blind Elder said. Once I command the disciples and use our mechanical stream secret treasure, the Heart Demon Kite, I'll be able to match Luo He. The Heart Shadow Sect's founding God King had, by legacy, crafted 13 mechanical stream secret treasures as the sect's inheritance. Over time, only 7 remained. The Heart Demon Kite was one of them. A God King left many means behind, but decline had eaten away at the sect's resources. This was sparring. I didn't use my strongest will secret technique, Shadowless Thorn, Blind Elder added. Once I use a will secret technique, it's no longer sparring. It's a fight to the death. Thank you to the new alliance leader, Luo City Lord, for the reward. That name is quite domineering. Chapter 15, Undercurrents. Surging after the Heart Shadow Gate Master met with the Blind Elder, an elder council was quickly convened. I visited the Yanfeng Guildmaster with gifts. Feng Yuqi, the Heart Shadow Gate Master, announced with a smile. Everything went smoothly. The Yanfeng Guild is operating as usual. If they aren't offended, they won't interfere. That was expected. The Yanfeng Guild's headquarters had a long-standing rule of not intervening in the disputes of nations, and branch guild masters dared not violate it without authorization. If the guild were to step in, there would need to be a compelling reason and confirmation from headquarters. Heart's Eye Elder visited Luo He. What was the result? An elder asked, his tone betraying concern. Did he agree not to interfere? He refused, the blind elder replied. The other elders stiffened. We've shown him every courtesy, and he's still ready to act against us? This Luo He is a wild card, another elder said. We should join forces and take him down before the 9 Jiang Marquis's army arrives. It would be easy for our sect to overwhelm him, but an eternal true god like him has unpredictable methods and extraordinary survival skills. He might slip away. Once he escapes, he'll become a mortal enemy and could even side with the 9 Jiang Marquis. The elders debated heatedly. The blind elder nodded slowly. The Heart Shadow sect is strong enough to overpower any eternal true god, but we aren't confident about killing him outright. So what do you propose? Someone asked. We watch, the blind elder said. If a war breaks out later and he intervenes, his involvement will be a major problem. They were all uneasy. If Luo He betrayed them at a critical moment, the consequences would be disastrous. This Luo He claims to be a mercenary cultivator and will fight for anyone who hires him, the blind elder continued. But he's greedy. He quoted an exorbitant fee, 200 million cosmic sand. 200 million cosmic sand? The elders reacted as one. He's insane. Who does he think he is? Another scoffed. The price was unacceptable. He demanded such a high fee from us, so I suspect he quoted the same, or more, to the 9 Jiang Marquis, the blind elder observed. That's probably why the Marquis hasn't accepted him yet. If he had, he'd already be in the city lord's mansion. Feng Yuqi smiled. Everyone, be at ease. Someone this greedy won't act without the right price. Even if he does in the future, once Heart's Eye Elder controls the Heart Demon Kite and pins him down, we can handle him. That should be enough, the blind elder agreed. He admitted Luo He's realm was slightly higher than his own, but he cultivated the God King legacy, 6 destructions of annihilation. Coupled with the sect-guarding mechanical treasure Heart Demon Kite, their forces would have a decisive edge. Good. If Heart's Eye Elder can lock Luo He down with the kite, 9 Jiang Marquis will have no strong cultivators to worry us. Relieved, the elders moved on to the next item. Knowing Luo He hasn't sided with the 9 Jiang Marquis is good news, Feng Yuqi said. Now let's proceed with the next step of the plan. Above Hundunjia district, in Huyang City, massive flying ships and super-large mechanical secret treasures swept toward the residences of the 5 great families. What's happening? Someone cried out. The Heart Shadow sect has come, came the reply. The 5 great families' descendants had been uneasy for days, but the core members had already moved to the city lord's mansion, leaving most ordinary, lower-status descendants behind. Those peripheral members made up over 99% of each clan and were a logistical nightmare to relocate on short notice. Even direct orders from clan leaders met delay. Kumeng clan's residence now belongs to the Heart Shadow sect. 10 super-large mechanical treasures hovered in the air as a booming voice announced, all living beings within this residence must leave. After 100 breaths, any living being remaining will not be spared. We are a royal clan, protested a few haughty descendants, but most packed what they could and fled. In a war between states, who would care whether a peripheral branch member was nobility? The Heart Shadow sect seized residences without regard for background. They did not openly massacre everyone, at least not at first, but their threats were absolute. Within 100 breaths, the 5 great residences were almost completely emptied. A handful of stubborn holdouts remained, and they vanished silently into dust under an unseen wave. Royal descent had multiplied over countless generations and could be everywhere. Many branches settled in outlying cities where their status was far less than they believed. In the origin continent's great clans, only core and elite members truly held power. The descendants of the 5 great families have all gone to the city lord's mansion, the Huyang city lord told the other family heads. The mansion needs to keep space for the war. It can't accommodate so many descendants. Put them in the residents' secret treasures for now. Mo Li Xiao suggested, and the others agreed. As long as the core members were safe and comfortable, the ordinary descendants could be tucked away in the residents' secret treasures. Facing the commands of their superiors, they had no choice but to comply. Throughout the entire Hundunjia district, only Luohe's residence remains uninvaded, the city lord said. And not long ago we detected extremely strong energy fluctuations from his place. Has the Heart Shadow sect won over Luohe? The clan leaders fretted. Luohe's allegiance would be decisive. If he sided with one side, it could tip the balance. Hu Yang city lord sent a message to Luo Feng. Luo Feng sat on a mountain inside his residence, leisurely sipping wine and watching the upheaval in Hundunjia district. The 5 great families had been forced to abandon their homes. Those who stayed had turned to dust. Your background means nothing unless someone respects it, Luo Feng mused. Dignity and pedigree ultimately relied on strength. Even a small branch of the Yanfeng Guild commanded respect when both warring nations deferred to it. Luohe, the city lord messaged. Why does the city lord suddenly have time to message me? Luo Feng replied. We sensed huge energy fluctuations from your residence. Did the Heart Shadow sect come to see you? The city lord asked. Control of Luohe's allegiance could be worth as much as 2 of him. Heart's Eye Elder visited and had a brief spar with me, Luo Feng replied. How did it go? The city lord asked, well aware of Heart's Eye Elder's strength. He's strong, Luo Feng said. Stronger than Blood Cloud. The city lord stiffened. You killed Blood Cloud. If it were one-on-one, could you kill this Heart's Eye Elder? I heard he can control the Heart Demon Kite, one of the Heart Shadow sect's 13 mechanical secret treasures. If he uses it, I can at best suppress him. I couldn't kill him outright, Luo Feng answered. The city lord was surprised. If Heart's Eye Elder could control the kite and Luohe could only suppress him, that meant the Heart Shadow sect could tie down Luohe and still have strength left to threaten them. The Heart Shadow sect also wanted to hire me, Luo Feng added. As a mercenary cultivator, I care most about the resources. I also have deep ties to Yu country, so I quoted a fee of 200 million cosmic sand. You're direct, the city lord said with a laugh. Your fee is still lower than what the Heart Shadow sect asked. Even though 200 million is a lot, I'll flatter you. Your price is reasonable. Which side Luohe joined could determine the battle's outcome, so the city lord was eager to please. I'll report this to the Marquise. I think the Marquise will make a decision soon, Hu Yang city lord reassured him. When the conversation ended, Luo Feng raised his wine gourd. My quote may be a little high, he thought. Neither side has accepted yet. This spar should prove my value. Whoever ruled the Chaos State, Ninjiang Marquis or Lord Luyan, had to ensure the city's safety, keep the citizens paying residence fees, and maintain control. Luo Feng had no desire to meddle unless he was paid well enough. If I could get 200 million cosmic sand, he told himself, it would speed my path to the Chaos Realm. In Zhujiang City, within a vaulted hall, Ninjiang Marquis sat alone on his throne. Silver hair draped his shoulders, each strand stirring the void. Lord Luyan actually sent the Heart Shadow sect to attack, he muttered. Even if he seizes the Zhujiang Chao state, the Heart Shadow sect will demand its share. His eyes turned cold. He's determined to take this Chaos state. This is my fiefdom. These are my cultivation resources. The void around him distorted with his fury. Intelligence suggested Lord Luyan's strength was a notch higher, but Ninjiang Marquis knew true confrontation wasn't decided by hearsay alone. He had been patient. Lord Luyan had instigated trouble repeatedly, and he had borne it. But now the Heart Shadow sect had moved on Huyang City. If he continued to endure, everything outside Zhujiang might fall. I've sent my best from the Zhujiang Chao state to Huyang City, but our elites alone can't match the Heart Shadow sect, he admitted. At the Eternal True God level, his forces were inferior. In numbers they were comparable, but in skill and quality they lagged behind. Many of the Heart Shadow sect's Eternal True Gods cultivated superior methods, and their God-King level sect guarding treasures amplified their disciples' strength. That Luohe, asking for 200 million cosmic sand, has nerve, Ninjiang Marquis grumbled. First, we'll try to invite a few Eternal True Gods from the royal capital. As for Luohe, we'll wait and see. He had prepared 100 million cosmic sand, and was already inviting elite eternal true gods from the royal capital, but he didn't know how many would answer the call. Chapter 16. The Curator breaks through to the Chaos Realm. After the Heart Shadow sect arrived in Huyang City, their actions were swift and decisive. First, they seized most of the cave dwellings in the Hundunjia district. Then they visited the curator of the Yanfeng Guild and God Monarch Luo He to neutralize those two potential threats. With those taken care of, they moved on to the most important task, seizing control of the city itself. While occupying the cave dwellings of the 5 great families, the sect had already dispatched forces to seize the 3 forbidden areas within the city. With a roar, 5 enormous mechanical secret treasures descended into one of those zones. The Huyang Legion that had once occupied the area had withdrawn long ago. Only a handful of ordinary Huyang guards remained to man the outpost. "What are you trying to do?" the guards cried, watching the 5 colossal machines with trepidation. "Surrender now, or die," came a voice from high above. The presence of those 5 mechanical secret treasures swept across the forbidden area like a storm. The senior officers had retreated to the city lord's mansion, leaving only these ordinary guards as a token defense. Realizing the hopelessness of resisting, these machines emanated power far beyond theirs. The guards yielded obediently. In an instant, they were captured and folded into a spatial treasure, while the 5 mechanical devices contracted and drilled into the forbidden area itself. Their force quickly shredded the remaining layers of defense. Amazingly, the formation foundations of the forbidden areas were dismantled long ago. The city's grand formation is only operating at its shallowest level, one of the secret treasures reported. "We didn't even attack yet, and the 5 great families had already dismantled the core of the city's grand formation," another added. Once inside and inspecting, the sect discovered there was nothing more the city lord's mansion could do. The 3 forbidden areas' cores had been preemptively deconstructed. Only the ordinary formations that were interwoven through the city remained, leaving Huyang City's grand formation at merely 20% of its original power. "Hurry and set up the sect's grand formation," the Gatemaster ordered. Eternal true gods poured out from within the 5 mechanical secret treasures and went to work. The Heart Shadow sect still possessed multiple sets of grand formations from its days as a God-King level sect. Their techniques were far more profound than Huyang City's. The most powerful of these normally required a Chaos Master to activate. What they prepared now were simplified, rapidly deployable versions, 3 stacked sect grand formations that could be completed quickly. Mobile formations are generally weaker than fixed grand formations, but even these 3, when combined, were slightly stronger than the diminished city formation. In a major engagement, the assistance they provided would be decisive. The 3 sect formations required 7 placement nodes, and the forbidden areas were perfect for the purpose. The Hundunjia district resembled a series of great rings encircling the city lord's mansion, and by now the whole ring, save for the tiny point of God Monarch Luo He's cave dwelling, had become the Heart Shadow sect's base. Gatemaster, the 5 great families dismantled the cores of the 3 forbidden area formations in advance. The sect disciples are deploying the formations at full speed. They'll complete them in no time. An elder reported as arrangements began in earnest. "It must be done quickly," the Gatemaster said, standing atop the highest peak of Hundunjia and sweeping his gaze across the district. "Elder Yunyi, take command of the gates. From this moment, all ingress and egress are prohibited." Yes, several elders took charge of contingents of disciples. 8 giant mechanical secret treasures launched toward the 4 city gates, tearing across the void repeatedly. With the Huyang City grand formation so weakened, the spatial blockade that normally kept transports from piercing the void had been greatly reduced. The whole city could become a battlefield at any moment. "We need to get out," many cultivators thought, and they rushed for the gates. But only a few eternal true gods could forcefully traverse the void. Most had to move cautiously and would take time to reach the exits. Whoosh, whoosh, cultivators streamed out. Then, suddenly, 2 of the mechanical secret treasures pierced the void and arrived at the east gate. A terrifying aura suffused the area. Waves of dark energy descended and seized the gate guards. Not good. The gates are sealed. Those still en route saw the scene and felt a chill. Those who had already reached the outskirts heaved a sigh of relief at their timing, but not everyone had been so lucky. From beyond the city walls, Zhu Yu of the Zhu clan watched helplessly. He had managed to evacuate 50% of the clan's descendants into a cave-dwelling secret treasure, but countless others were scattered across the city. Workers, guards, members of various forces, and there had been no time to gather them. Only two eternal true gods of the Zhu clan are left in the city, Zhu Yu and Zhu Gu, he thought. One has connections, the other belongs to a branch of a major force. They should be able to protect themselves, and, hopefully, more of our descendants. Zhu Gu, a thin old man, felt a helplessness he had never known. The Heart Shadow sect's might was too great. He immediately pierced the void and fled toward the neighboring chaos state. As the sect's grand formation completed, the 8 mechanical secret treasures withdrew. A dark grand formation wrapped the city like a shroud, sealing sky and ground alike. The 4 original gates were covered in black light. No entrance or exit remained. The deployment was a success. "We can leave now," the gatemaster nodded. With the grand formation in place, there was no need to maintain constant guard. The city itself was a prison. To break out forcibly might require the strength of someone on the level of God Monarch Luo He, and the Heart Shadow sect hoped Luo He would leave on his own. All the eternal true gods within Huyang City recognized the change. Any cultivator who understood formations could tell at a glance that this was not the city's original grand formation, but a sect formation of an entirely different design. "It's getting more interesting," Emperor Chu Yu, curator of the Yanfeng Guild, observed with quiet amusement. He had traveled across the origin continent and seen countless conflicts. This little upheaval in Huyang City was but a ripple in his long cultivation life. "Our guild transcends petty wars," the deputy curator, a being of gray mist, said. "If every branch interfered as they pleased, the Yanfeng Guild would lose its transcendent standing." Emperor Chu Yu's expression was unusually bright. "It seems the Heart Shadow sect arrived just in time," the deputy curator laughed. "Curator, it looks like the Chaos laws have come easy for you, a lucky star indeed." Emperor Chu Yu laughed heartily. "After countless years, and even with secret manuals guiding me, I only became a Chaos Realm cultivator today," he said. "It is so hard for a law lineage cultivator to reach the Chaos Realm." The manual he had cultivated from was no ordinary inheritance. It was a secret transmission from the Yanfeng Ancient Kingdom's royal family, far superior to typical God-King level legacies. Normally, passage from Eternal True God to Chaos Master required deep, prolonged accumulation before a breakthrough. The royal family's guidance, however, laid out a clear path and reduced the difficulty enormously. "Compared to Luo He, I know fewer Chaos Realm techniques," Emperor Chu Yu admitted. "Luo He has vast accumulation, the perfect divine body, and deep insights into life origin and destructive mysteries. He has comprehended more chaos moves than I have, yet he still hasn't broken through. I had a secret manual that tied everything together, 9 complementary Chaos Realm techniques and an abundance of resources, and that's why I broke through today." "When will you return and report this to the clan?" the deputy curator asked. "There's no hurry," Emperor Chu Yu said. "I've already informed the ancestor. He told me to keep it quiet for now. He'll send resources here. I'll return only after my divine body has fully matured and my strength is completely consolidated." The deputy curator beamed. Within the Yanfeng royal family, those capable of cultivating the infinite divine body were elite among elites. The Emperor Chu lineage had, over the ages, accumulated nearly 100 infinite divine bodies. Each such cultivator had the right to contact the ancestor directly. The deputy curator, by contrast, was lower in status and had no such privilege. "The Chaos Realm infinite divine body is grander still and grows more slowly," Emperor Chu Yu continued. "It demands secret techniques to consolidate its power. I hope Luo He breaks through before I leave. Then I can take him back with me." "You should be able to consolidate in a short time, perhaps 1 or 2 epochs," the deputy curator replied. "As for Luo he may be stuck at a bottleneck for thousands of epochs. You never know when serendipity will come." Emperor Chu Yu nodded, glanced once more at the commotion in the city, and then stepped into a small pavilion to begin his consolidation. Chapter 85, Plunder the City. Heart Shadow Gate Master stood on the mountaintop, staring down at Huyang City spread below him. A shadowy grand array shimmered over the entire metropolis. Cold light hardened his eyes. "Begin the plundering plan," he ordered. "There's still a fortune to be taken from Huyang City." "Yes," the three elders behind him answered, eager. They dispersed at once to carry out the orders. "Ever since our sect lost its foundation, our income has been cut off," the gate master murmured, more to himself than anyone else. "We've been living off the old reserves." A sect with thousands of eternal true gods, a vast number of void true gods, and countless true god disciples consumed prodigious resources every epoch. "We can manage for a short time, but long-term depletion will force the Heart Shadow sect to split further." He eyed the city again. "A single, massive plundering of Huyang City is like collecting rent for dozens of epochs. We should take everything we can." He added a hard thought. "Even if we win this war outright, if Ninjiang Marcus gets help from a powerful god king of Yu country, we could still lose. So protect our elites, plunder the city, and even defeat would leave us richer." 9 enormous mechanical secret treasures, each bearing hundreds of large flying ships, swept into a busy commercial quarter of Huyang City. This district held branches of major powers, huge shops selling weapons and secret treasures, rare bloodline artifacts, and countless entertainment venues. Except for the 8 branches of the major powers and Luo God Monarch's cave mansion, not one eternal true god or void true god will be spared, a voice announced, echoing across the district. "Those who resist will be killed." The Heart Shadow disciples aboard the flying ships cheered. They knew how meager most true gods' holdings were. Many kept only a few chaos crystals and wouldn't risk them until forced. The sect avoided wasting time and energy looting the true god masses. The yield was small and the effort massive. But the eternal and void true gods who ran a city's wealth, those were the targets. Branches of the Yunbao Tower occupied a vast compound, pavilions displaying countless secret treasures. Dozens of Heart Shadow disciples sealed it off. Inside the branch, 3 eternal true gods and numerous void true god members stared wide-eyed at the attackers. A blood-robed woman from the Heart Shadow sect strode in and sighed as if apologetic. "Our sect has been poor too long. Yunbao Tower will help us. Hand over all your treasures, every item in your vaults and on your ships." Silence fell. The Yunbao Tower lord and his deputies were chilled. "Not a single chaos crystal left," she went on evenly. "We will search your bodies. Resist and you die." The idea of a body search, a thorough divine inspection down to the true god heart, was anathema. It meant entirely entrusting one's life to another. But with death threatened, the 3 leaders bowed. "Must we be searched?" a simple old eternal true god whimpered. "I will surrender everything I've accumulated. Isn't that enough?" "Body searches are mandatory," the blood-robed woman said. "If everything were voluntary, most would hide half their treasures." The old man's desperation snapped. He transformed into a black shadow and streaked past the Heart Shadow disciples, slaying dozens in an instant, including the eternal true god who had spoken. Alarms flared across the colossal mechanical secret treasures in the sky. "Kill him!" one of their commanders barked, and the shadowy grand array flared, trying to bind the fugitive with shadowy power. "Heart Shadow sect, I have hidden no one in all my travels who could search me," the old man shouted as he fled. But the sect's grand array had already formed a karma trace, and the Heart Shadow forces set to the pursuit. A gigantic plant life aboard one of the mechanical treasures swept a tangle of vines like a heaven net and strangled the shadow. The black wisp fought, vowing to take thousands of sect disciples before it died, but in the end, it was annihilated. Only a handful of treasures remained to be collected. "Not everyone is fit to provoke us," the colossal plant life said, radiating killing intent. As one of the 18 elder constructs, the mechanical treasure's aura rivaled that of a Heart Shadow elder. The Darkness faction's Thousand Mountains Tower was next. 7 lords and numerous void true gods stood under 2 hovering mechanical secret treasures and the Heart Shadow disciples that ringed them. Outrage flashed across their faces. As a Darkness faction, they were used to being the plunderers, not the plundered. "You hand over everything," a green-robed man said. "You will also be searched." "Search?" Even the five great families demand some face, one of the lords protested. This city will belong to the Heart Shadow sect for the next few days. The green-robed man replied coldly, "We don't need your darkness faction here." When he glanced to his left, a swath of Thousand Mountains Tower members instantly turned to powder, Suo Yun among them. Suo Yun, who had left his tribe and been saved by Luo Feng many epochs ago, died without a sound. He had risked everything to survive in Huyang City, and now he was gone, unnoticed by the city at large. "That's a warning," the green-robed man said to the remaining lords. "Speak another word and you die." They bowed their heads and allowed the searches. One by one, the Heart Shadow disciples stripped them of every chaos crystal. By now, everywhere outside the City Lord's mansion, the three major power branches and Luo Feng's cave mansion, eternal and void true gods were being plundered. Those who resisted were killed. Most could only endure. The Heart Shadow sect's advantage was overwhelming. On the mountaintop of his cave mansion, Luo Feng noticed the swarm of Heart Shadow flying ships and mechanical secret treasures sweeping the city. He frowned. "What's happening?" "Menghua Lu Ju, Dreamflower Lord, has been blockaded," a message buzzed in his mind. "They want to plunder Dreamflower House and search my body." Luo Feng recognized the voice. The Dreamflower Lord relied on her musical illusions to support his seven emotions heart-refining method, and Shang Qianyan's friendship made him feel obliged to help. "If they mention my name, stall for time," Luo Feng messaged back. "If it fails, don't resist. I'm coming." "Master, master!" Mo Yu Qingyan flew up the mountaintop in a panic, eyes rimmed red. "My younger brother, Mo Yu Luxing, is dead." "Dead?" Luo Feng was stunned. He knew the Mo Yu family and the three brothers. Luxing had been a promising artifact refiner. "How?" "The Heart Shadow sect massacred former disciples of the Tianyan sect," Mo Yu Qingyan said. "They forced Void True Gods to submit to body searches. My brother said one sentence, and they killed him." Luo Feng received another urgent message from Uncle Chu, an elder of Shang Tianyan. "Please save our disciples," Uncle Chu implored. After the Tianyan sect disbanded, many disciples had scattered and opened artifact refining shops, the 9 biggest being crucial. "The Heart Shadow sect is plundering all Void True Gods. Many are slain. Please spare those 9 shops." Morosa materialized beside him and looked at Mo Yu Qingyan in disbelief. "Your brother is dead? The one who came to deliver food that time?" "Killed by the Heart Shadow sect," Luo Feng confirmed. Mo Yu Qingyan nodded, numb. Morosa turned to Luo Feng. "What are we waiting for?" Chapter 86. Blade Flashes Through the Air. Luo Feng was not surprised. He had long known the Origin continent to be a ruthless place. Tribes living in the wilderness could vanish without a trace. When Chaos Masters or ancient God Kings struck, whole regions could be overturned. Cultivators could be benevolent, cold, and solitary, or they could slaughter countless lives for their own ends. That was the jungle law here, a harsh, natural order. Those who slaughter all beings for themselves are detestable scum, Luo Feng thought. My wiping them out is also part of the natural order. It's only that my power is limited. Even ancient god kings could not change the continent's balance. At that moment, Morosa and Mo Yu Qingyan were waiting for Luo Feng to decide. "Qingyan," Luo Feng asked, "where are your family now?" "My father is trapped inside the city lord's mansion. It's sealed and he can't leave," Mo Yu Qingyan answered. "My eldest brother's family is at home. My younger sister-in-law is pregnant and resting at home. The situation is critical. I plan to evacuate the city," Luo Feng said. "Will your family leave with me?" "Of course," Mo Yu Qingyan replied. "I've sent word to father. He said to obey you in everything." Luo Feng glanced at Morosa. "Morosa, go to the Dreamflower House now and rescue Dreamflower Lord, Aluoya, and everyone there." Morosa's eyes brightened. He had long wanted to act. He sent a mental query. "Master, if I move inside the city, I'll be noticed by the Heart Shadow sect and the City Lord's mansion. How much power should I reveal?" "As strong as Heart's Eye Elder, but use more forceful means." "Control the destructive power carefully," Luo Feng transmitted. Rumors already spread that he was an elite backed by a major power, especially after he rejected the Lord of Yu country's recruitment. People assumed Morosa was his protector. Let them believe it. Understood. Morosa was ready. Luo Feng waved his hand, gathered Mo Yu Qingyan, and at the same moment he and Morosa flashed and vanished. Inside the city lord's mansion, Mo Yu sat alone in a room, racked with grief. My third son. The news cut him like a knife. After his wife died, his 3 children were everything to him. He had used his friendship with Luo Feng and every treasure he had to secure their futures. Now his third son was gone. I've known this world is cruel, he thought, hatred coiling inside him, but I can't take revenge. That was the Heart Shadow sect, he whispered bitterly. What could a mere void true god like him do against such power? Even the 9 Jiang Marcus struggled to gather forces. All he could do was pray that God Lord Luo He would safely take Li Feng, Qingyun, and the others out of Huyang City. At the Mo Yu family's cave mansion, Mo Yu Li Feng stood beside the lake, tears on his face and fury in his chest. You killed my brother, he shouted to the sky. I, Mo Yu Li Feng, swear I'll spare no effort to avenge him. Even if it takes thousands of epochs, I will not give up. Of the 3 brothers, Li Feng was the most talented and fiercest. The third brother had been quiet and wanted peace. But in this world, wanting peace was no guarantee of achieving it. A black-robed figure emerged from a ripple in the void and appeared above the mansion. Mo Yu Li Feng bowed in respect. God Lord, he said, we are ready. Luo Feng nodded. With a sweep of his hand, he gathered every living being, and even the buildings of the Mo Yu family into himself. Next, I'll take care of the 9 refining shops. Brother Shang, this is the most I can do to help. Then, with a step, he vanished into the void. Though the Heart Shadow sect's grand dark array suppressed space heavily, Luo Feng's comprehension of space had become profound. With the void-traveling Mother Tree leaf in his possession and the observations it had inspired, his void travel had grown precise. When the Tianyan sect collapsed, its disciples had scattered. Some joined other powers, others set up refining shops. The 9 largest refining shops were well known. The Mo Yu refining shop, established by Mo Yu Qingyan and his wife Mo Yu Chang, occupied 1,000 square kilometers and had deep roots in Huyang City. The Mo Yu family's connections reached far. One branch followed Deputy Palace Master Xingji Mo Li Meng. The eldest son was a disciple of eternal true god Ju Yu. The second son served God Lord Luo He. Many former Tianyan disciples had followed Mo Yu Qingyan and his wife. All treasures are to be taken. In the Mo Yu refining shop, Heart Shadow sect disciples were already loading weapons, secret treasures, inventory, and materials. Many refiners were being searched, their treasures taken, not a single chaos stone left. A figure flashed into the shop, Luo Feng, having traveled through the void. Who dares trespass into the forbidden area of my Heart Shadow sect? The sect disciples sealing the place shouted. 3 massive mechanical secret treasures hovered overhead, scanning in all directions. The refiners, apprentices, and guests fell silent, recognizing the danger. Most of them were former Tianyan disciples and immediately recognized Luo Feng. God Lord Luo He, they murmured. How did Mo Yu Luxing die? Luo Feng demanded. Who are you? A guard shouted at first, but another hushed him. Quiet, that's God Lord Luo He. The Heart Shadow sect disciples froze. A burly refiner stepped forward. God Lord, Heart Shadow sect disciples suddenly arrived today. Without warning, they pointed and several refiners, apprentices, and guests died in an instant. The place went silent. Then the Heart Shadow sect declared the shop's treasures belonged to them and ordered all void true gods to surrender and be searched. Junior brother Mo Yu, as the shop owner, only asked if they could hand over treasures without being searched. The burly man continued with outrage. Before he finished, the leader pointed again, and junior brother Mo Yu and those around him were annihilated. At that moment, 3 figures entered from outside. The one in front wore purple robes. Beneath the cloth, his divine body seemed to be formed of black liquid, and his eyes were cold as ice. He bowed slightly. Heart Shadow sect disciple Chan Wuqi greets God Lord Luo He, he said. You pointed twice and slaughtered the shop. Was that you? Luo Feng asked. It was I, Chan Wuqi replied calmly. My Heart Shadow sect is fair. This levy applies only to eternal true gods and void true gods. A deterrent was necessary to ensure compliance. You actually killed junior brother Mo Yu, the burly refiner shouted. His eyes were wild. Chan Wuqi nodded, as if this proved his point. To him, slaughtering void and eternal ranked cultivators was a trivial matter. Luo Feng's face was cold and smooth. He lifted a finger. An invisible blade of light descended, cutting through the air and instantly annihilating Chan Wuqi's divine body. Chan Wuqi died with disbelief in his eyes. The Heart Shadow sect disciples were stunned into retreat. They knew God Lord Luo He's reputation. He was not someone ordinary disciples could face, but they had been confident. They had deemed extorting the city a simple arithmetic. Now this striking rebuke spread panic. One of the hovering mechanical secret treasures, a dark green, almost humanoid construct with 8 arms, moved to confront Luo Feng. God Lord Luo He, you have arbitrarily killed a disciple of my Heart Shadow sect, one of its voices warned. Before the sentence finished, a terrifying blade of dazzling light tore through the sky. Space itself split into a pitch-black crack as the blade swept past the massive construct. The secret treasure shattered. More than half of the disciples aboard were killed or wounded in an instant. All 11 eternal true gods who commanded that machine perished. The remaining Heart Shadow sect disciples fled in terror. The other 2 super-large mechanical secret treasures were the first to fall back. Luo Feng walked out of the refining shop and looked up at the sky. "You actually dare to speak when I'm acting," he said coldly. His voice rolled through the void and into the ears of the fleeing disciples. Watching the shattered secret treasure fall through the ruptured sky, Luo Feng waved and collected the ruined machine, then stepped into the void and vanished toward the next refining shop. Chapter 87, Cause and Effect, Episode 2, Chapter 19, Karma. Inside the city, Lord's mansion, the eternal true gods stood on edge, bracing for retaliation from the Heart Shadow sect. Luo He has made his move. He killed an eternal true god of the Heart Shadow sect. He destroyed a super-large mechanical secret treasure with a single saber strike. His strength is terrifying, far beyond General Yang. Huyang City was essentially a massive mechanical metropolis with the City Lord's mansion at its core, able to monitor events across the city. When Luo He acted openly, the mansion's surveillance caught everything. The leaders of the 5 great families gathered to watch recordings of the battle. Luo He's saber strike tore such a long spatial rift. Its force is incredible. No wonder he killed Blood Cloud, Mo Li Xiao said, awestruck. His power surpasses Blood Cloud's. The man outside the city could probably have killed Blood Cloud in a few strikes, the Huyang City Lord marveled. Amazing. The leader of the Wu clan was visibly excited. Luo He has fallen out with the Heart Shadow sect. This could be a huge advantage for us. Falling out doesn't mean he'll help us, the Mei Wu clan leader warned. He once quoted a price of 100 million cosmic sand for employment. Don't expect charity. Still, as long as he's at odds with the Heart Shadow sect, it plays into our hands, one elder said. City Lord, contact Luo He and see if he needs shelter. The Huyang City Lord contacted Luo He immediately. Luo He, you've clashed with the Heart Shadow sect. You're in danger. You can take refuge in the City Lord's mansion. The mansion's defenses are strong. With you here, the Heart Shadow sect can't easily break through. You can also leave the city. Elite troops outside the walls, sent by the Marquise, can come to meet you. No need. The Heart Shadow sect can do nothing to me, Luo He replied. I know you're strong, the City Lord replied, but the Heart Shadow sect is still a God-King level lineage. Even weakened, it's dangerous. If I need help, I'll ask, Luo He messaged. All right. The troops outside are on standby. If you call, we'll act immediately. The City Lord ended the transmission and looked at the other leaders. Well, no need to ask. They say they don't need our help, the City Lord said wryly. He doesn't even take the Heart Shadow sect seriously. With his strength, few can threaten him unless a Chaos Realm expert intervenes, Mo Li Xiao said. Yes, but the Heart Shadow sect has many methods. No lone eternal true god can hold out forever under a full siege, the City Lord warned. Luo He probably just has confidence in escaping. Being able to escape one of their sieges is already remarkable, Mo Li Xiao agreed. I've notified the troops outside as well. If Luo He truly ends up desperate, they'll move to rescue him. He'll owe them his life. The 5 great families continued watching the citywide surveillance, following each development. The 7 Flames Tower was one of 9 artifact shops run by Tianyan sect disciples, jointly founded by 7 outstanding direct disciples. It was the strongest of the 9 and had the most apprentices. 3 eternal true gods strode through the tower like conquerors. With a flick of a finger, an entire wing of refiners, apprentices, and guests disintegrated into dust, leaving only their scattered artifacts behind. Hand over all treasures or die. Their gazes swept the hall. Those inside were stunned and furious, seeing relatives and friends reduced to nothing. Yet against Heart Shadow Sect power, charging headlong would be suicide. The three eternal true gods noticed no one dared resist, and satisfied, left for the next nearby commercial house. Don't slaughter wantonly. Those void true gods wouldn't resist anyway. A gray-robed figure patrolling outside called after them. Senior Brother Chu, slaughter speeds up looting. Comprehending the great path of destruction requires feeling the heart of destruction, said the smallest of the three. Our Heart Shadow Sect's inheritance is founded on the great path of destruction. You and I haven't even reached the Chaos Realm, and you're already thinking of the great path? The gray-robed man shook his head. That path leads only to destruction. Chu Yi, the gray-robed man, watched them go and sighed. Legends said world beasts born of the great path of destruction knew only annihilation. They were eventually hunted down across the origin continent. Only the world beast of Tianmu country, which restrained its bloodthirst, survived. The Heart Shadow Sect's last great ancestor had grasped the great path, but his heirs had lost restraint. The sect's reckless behavior, its last time harming the Nine-Source Great Sage's bloodline, had provoked retaliation and led to the sect's decline. My master showed me great kindness. I crossed 5 Divine Kingdom territories to return and help rebuild the sect, Chu Yi murmured. I dislike how the sect behaves now. Once the foundation is stable, I won't return. His reverie broke when a cold figure in black robes appeared. An invisible saber aura spread outward, chilling the air. It's Luo He, the top-tier eternal true god from Yu country? Chu Yi's heart leapt. He had been confident, but now he knew he wasn't a match. Luo He had returned through the void. His gaze swept the Seven Flames Tower and the scattered storage artifacts, weaponry, and secret treasures on the ground. An artifact refiner manifested the recent scene with divine power, the 3 eternal true gods' massacre. They massacred everyone without a word, the refiner said. Luo He's Shengmi domain already encompassed the area. With a single thought, the 3 eternal true gods were bound in midair and pulled into the Seven Flames Tower. The 3, stunned, bowed and ingratiated themselves. The guests and apprentices recognized the black-robed figure immediately. Luo He, our Heart Shadow Sect respects you. A city-wide message from the Heart Shadow Sect pulsed through everyone's spirits. All disciples, heed this. Luo He has defeated a super-large mechanical secret treasure of our sect and is a declared enemy. If you see Luo He, flee at once. The lowest ranks scattered. The sect's leaders, however, acted fast and ordered only retreat for ordinary disciples. Better to preserve them than to have them throw their lives away. Bound and helpless, the 3 eternal true gods still tried to plead for mercy. Luo He said nothing. The crushing pressure of his Shengmi domain ground them like a Tai Chi millstone. They were crushed to dust where they hovered. Those who had watched the massacre and then saw this were elated. Good riddance. They deserved it. Luo He collected the survivors' artifacts, then stepped through the void to the next forging house. The Heart Shadow disciples in the distance finally exhaled. The fleeing super-large mechanical secret treasure halted as well. That is Luo He's strength, they whispered. Chu Yi observed quietly. Karma, he muttered. I warned them not to slaughter. For every cause there is an effect. At the Heart Shadow Sect headquarters in the Hundun Jia district, the Gate Master and the 18 elders gathered, either in true form or as divine avatars. Gate Master, Luo He struck at our sect again. In Mo Yu's refining shop, he killed 10 eternal true gods, one elder reported anxiously. Do we continue to endure? Why did he act so suddenly? The Gate Master demanded. An elder explained. The Mo Yu shop was established by Mo Yu Luxing, the younger brother of Luo He's retainer, Mo Yu Qingyan. Our disciple Chan Wuqi killed people there, including Luxing, provoking Luo He. He's avenging a servant's younger brother? The Gate Master frowned. Many elders thought Luo He's actions extreme. Enraged, Luo He had gone to the Mo Yu shop, killed Chan Wuqi, and then obliterated the nearby super-large mechanical secret treasure, the Black Flame Beast. 11 eternal true gods and many disciples had died. How insane, an elder said. Then the investigation showed Luo He at the Seven Flames Tower crushing 3 more eternal true gods. He killed 3 of our eternal true gods so openly. Are we to remain passive? The Gate Master watched the feed in silence. The sect's disciples were scattered and barely held together to rebuild the foundation. If Luo He was allowed to kill openly, the sect's rank and file would lose all morale. More than half the elders no longer wanted to stand down. The Gate Master finally hardened his three-eyed gaze. We gave Luo He enough face, and he has trampled on the dignity of the Heart Shadow sect. We cannot let this continue. Before the Great War, we'll use Luo He as practice. This time, we must kill him and not let him escape. Yes, the 18 elders answered in unison. Even those who had hesitated fell in line. The Heart Shadow sect would unite to eliminate this audacious threat. Chapter 88, Siege, Part 1. Volume 2, Chapter 20, Encirclement and Annihilation, Part 1. After leaving the Dream Flower House, Morosa made only 2 void transversals and arrived above an ordinary cave dwelling in Huyang City's Snow Winter District. The dwelling belonged to the Jianye Teng Cao clan. Divine Lord, Aluoya has told us everything. We willingly follow Divine Lord outside the city. The void true god who led the clan bowed respectfully. A few clan members were away at the moment, but taking almost the entire household was already fortunate. Good. The frank-looking Morosa nodded. With a gesture, he drew all the clan's people and buildings into his control, leaving only bare earth and loneliness behind. While gathering the Jianye Teng Cao clan, he sent a mental report to Luo Feng. Master, I saved the Menghualu Lord, Aluoya, and almost everyone in the Dream Flower House. Aluoya asked for my help, so I also rescued the Jianye Teng Cao clan along the way. Is everything proceeding smoothly? Luo Feng asked. Very smoothly. The Heart Shadow sect recognizes me as your subordinate and dared not attack. They tried to stop me from rescuing the Dream Flower House cultivators, but I ignored them, Morosa replied. Luo Feng then transmitted the locations of the 3 refining shops among the 9 set up by Tianyan sect disciples. I've already engaged the Heart Shadow sect. They may target you if they see you again, so be careful. Haha, let them attack, Morosa was eager. He was in no rush. After 5 epochs as a Chaos Realm expert, his understanding of the Destruction Origin Great Path had deepened. Even if he suppressed his strength to the level of Heart's Eye Elder, his methods were stranger and more unpredictable. If he wished to leave, the Heart Shadow sect could not stop him. His only real fear was being hunted by ancient god kings from the Origin continent, so he intended to follow his master's instructions and play the role of guardian well. He might have reached another refining shop in a single step, but he deliberately made 3 void transversals before arriving. The Heart Shadow Gate Master and 18 elders, assembled either in their true bodies or as divine power avatars, watched through the sect's grand array. The images showed Luo Feng storming a refining shop, killing an eternal true god, and whisking away all its cultivators. Another scene showed Morosa rescuing others. We detected the butcher, Morosa, Luo He's subordinate, has also acted and slain them, one voice reported. His name is Luo Sa. He has always disguised himself as a void true god. Intelligence says Divine Lord Luo He once brought his subordinate Luo Sa to hunt Divine Lord Blood Cloud. We suspected he wasn't ordinary. Under our array's suppression, this Luo Sa can traverse the void with ease. If it's just secret treasures, fine, but if it's his own strength, he might surpass most elders. If he and Luo He combine, their strengths will complement each other. They could handle most dangerous situations. The elders' analysis was keen. They understood that an exceptionally powerful, eternal true god paired with a Chaos Realm expert whose techniques differed could cover each other's weaknesses. Once coordinated, they would be far harder to kill. Many elders grew uneasy. The forces we've dispatched are enough, the Heart Shadow Gatemaster said with calm confidence. Suddenly, a message arrived. Gatemaster, Luo He's subordinate Luo Sa is very strong. Should I act? Asked Chu Yi, a hidden power within the sect. When we go to war with Marquis Ninejiang's army, you will act, the Gatemaster answered. Against Luo He and Luo Sa, we must only use our public forces. I've already deployed the Heart Demon Kite, the 6 Shadow Killing Formation, and the Great Destruction Absolute Array, 50% of the sect's strength. That should be sufficient. Chu Yi's response was concise. The Gate Master felt fortunate. He had gathered disciples scattered across the origin continent and found a surprise. Chu Yi, once merely an excellent eternal true god, had developed into someone approaching Heart's Eye Elder in level. Crucially, Chu Yi had cultivated the God King level legacy Heart Shadow art to a profound degree. He could even control the Heart Shadow Demon General, one of the sect's guardian secret treasures. The Heart Shadow sect possessed 5 God King level legacies. Any eternal true god who passed testing could learn parts. Among them, Heart Shadow art was the most revered and hardest. The sect's name itself came from it. If Chu Yi controlled the Heart Shadow Demon General, he would be more formidable than Heart's Eye Elder with his Heart Demon Kite. Chu Yi was aloof and distant, unwilling to associate with other elders. With his strength, he could assume an elder's role. It's a pity he'll leave once this war ends, the Gate Master conceded. Not just him, Heart's Eye Elder will leave too. Many disciples had taken root elsewhere across the origin continent and ignored summons. Those returning now did so because of sectal orders or Chaos Realm directives. This Luo He is ruthless, the elder said. Any Heart Shadow disciple found slaughtering is killed instantly. The Gate Master and elders watched anxiously. Heart's Eye Elder, you still haven't arrived, they said to a divine power avatar. With only my control of the Heart Demon Kite, I'm only on par with him. It won't stop him. I'm waiting for the 6 Shadow killing formation to assemble. Then the 6 Shadow plus my kite will trap him. Once the Great Destruction Absolute Array is activated, he can be annihilated. The Great Destruction Absolute Array required 360 eternal true gods to activate, one of the sect's ultimate killing techniques. Divine Lord Luo He and his subordinate Luo Sa have both acted, both rescuing the Tianyan sect's refining shops. Both are ruthless, another reported. This Luo Sa's strength may be no less than blood clouds, the leaders of the 5 great families at the City Lord's mansion observed. Luo Feng being strong was expected, but his subordinates' level surprised them. Previously, the Princess Royal tried to recruit Luo He, but he refused. He clearly has a major background, said the Huyang City Lord. This Luo Sa is so low-key, yet as strong as Luo He. The stronger they are, the better for our side. With the help of an eternal true god-level pair, the prospects of victory rose. On the Yanfeng Guild side, Curator Di Chuyu watched the city's unfolding conflict. Luo He truly has backing, Di Chuyu mused. No matter his backing, it's nothing compared to my Emperor Chu lineage, the deputy curator said. The Yanfeng Ancient Kingdom was the strongest power on the origin continent, aside from the Thunder Ancient Country's royal family. If the legendary Yuan were teaching disciples, the appeal would be greater, but Yuan had no time for that. It was already exceptional to secure remnants of his teachings. From his techniques, his realm accumulation is deep but chaotic, Di Chuyu commented, watching techniques that blended the great Tao of life and the great path of destruction. His legacy background is ordinary, probably a common god king. The supreme rules contain the origin great path, and every origin great path provides clear guidance. Without such guidance, fusing different great Taos becomes extremely difficult. The deputy curator shook his head. Fusing paths without clear origin guidance increases difficulty 100-fold. It's fine. What he's currently grasping isn't even the tip of the great Tao. Once he returns to the ancient kingdom and obtains part of my Emperor Chu lineage's legacy, he'll learn proper cultivation, Di Chuyu said. Luo Feng moved from refining shop to refining shop, collecting all the refiner masters and apprentices. Wherever Heart Shadow disciples attempted massacres, he intervened and slaughtered those attackers. By the time he had rescued the 5th empty refining shop, he wondered, why is the Heart Shadow sect moving so slowly? He had prepared for stronger resistance. Divine Lord Luo He, the rescued refiners and apprentices cried out with excitement. The nearby Heart Shadow sect disciples scattered at the sight of Luo Feng and fled. Shengmi Domain reacted. Luo Feng waved and drew in the cultivators from the shop, then looked up into the distance. A black bird-shaped mechanical secret treasure appeared, accompanied by 6 massive devices forming an array, the Heart Demon Kite. Luo Feng recognized it instantly, one of the Heart Shadow sect's famed guardian secret treasures. Each of the sect's guardian treasures was potent and mysterious, though many had been lost over time. The threshold to control them was extraordinarily high. Morosa, there's another refining shop for you. Luo Feng sent the location to Morosa. He had secured 5 of the 9. The remaining 4 he entrusted to his subordinate. Don't worry, master, I've got it, Morosa replied, relaxed. He had met no strong resistance so far. The enormous black bird's eyes flared crimson. Luo He, my heart shadow sect has shown you respect, yet you slaughter our disciples. You court your death. Less nonsense. Luo Feng didn't bother with words. The longer he lingered, the more forces the heart shadow sect could mobilize. He soared into the sky. At altitude, the dark grand array activated in full. An enormous dark vortex formed and bound him. The heart demon kite and the 6 shadow killing formation struck together. Humph! Luo Feng's divine power flared. He unleashed the Sheng Mi domain. A vast domain, like a Tai Chi cloud mass, spread outward and struck the dark vortex. This was a large-scale sect grand array, stronger than the Huyang city array, but only slightly so, and far inferior to Luo Feng's Sheng Mi domain. The Tai Chi cloud mass surged. Luo Feng stood at the center in the high sky, holding the blood shadow blade. Seal! 6 huge, indistinct shadows rose in 6 directions, hemming in this part of sky and encircling Luo Feng. The heart demon kite issued a screech and dove for him. The shriek pierced at his will. Simultaneously, the kite's massive claw ripped forward, tearing through space and leaving trails of spatial cracks. Die! The kite unleashed a will attack even as it clawed. Under that assault, a fragile shell of a will slammed with indomitable force against a towering mountain. Bang! Chapter 89, Siege, Part 2. After leaving Dream Flower House, Morosa performed only 2 void transversals and appeared above an ordinary cave dwelling in the Snow Winter district of Huyang City. The cave was home to members of the Qianye Teng Cow clan, Thousand Leaf Vinegrass clan. God Lord, Aluoya has told us everything. We are willing to follow you out of the city. Their void true god leader bowed respectfully. A few clan members were absent, and it was too late to gather them all. Being able to take the vast majority was fortunate enough. All right. Simple-looking Morosa nodded, and with a wave of his hand he collected all the clan's people and their structures, leaving only bare earth and frozen ponds behind. While he gathered the Qianye Cow clan, he sent a mental message to Luo Feng. Master, I've saved Menghua Luju and Aluoya, and almost everyone from Dream Flower House. Aluoya asked for my help, so I rescued the Qianye Cow clan as a favor. Was it smooth? Luo Feng asked. Very smooth. The Heart Shadow sect recognized me as your subordinate and didn't dare to attack. They tried to interfere when I was saving the cultivators of Dream Flower House, but I ignored them, Morosa replied. Luo Feng sent Morosa the addresses of 3 of the 9 refining workshops established by the Tianyan sect's disciples. Save everyone from those 3 refining workshops. I'll handle the others. Be careful. If the Heart Shadow sect sees you again, they may come after you. Heh, let them come. Morosa was excited. I'll be quick. 5 epochs had passed since he became a Chaos Realm expert, and his grasp of the Destruction Origin Great Path had deepened. He could suppress his strength to match Heart's Eye Elder while using methods far stranger than conventional techniques. If he wanted to leave, the Heart Shadow sect simply couldn't stop him. He wasn't worried about them. Only the ancient god kings of the Origin continent concerned him, so he apprised himself to follow his master's instructions and play the role of a Tao protector properly. Morosa could have reached the next refining workshop in a single step, but he chose to perform 3 void transversals and arrived at the scene. The Heart Shadow Gate Master and 18 elders were already assembled, either in their true forms or as divine power avatars, watching the images projected by the sect's grand array. One feed showed Luo Feng moving on a refining workshop, slaughtering the eternal true gods who had massacred others and gathering the cultivators. The other showed Morosa rescuing people and casually killing the butchers he encountered. Luohe's subordinate is called Luo Sa. He used to disguise himself as a void true god, one elder said. Intelligence says Luohe and Luo Sa once pursued and killed God Lord Bloodcloud together. We always suspected Luo Sa was exceptional. Even under our grand array, he can traverse the void easily. If he relies on secret mechanical treasures, that's one thing, but if it's his own power, he might be stronger than most of us. One Luohe and one Luosa. If Luosa is that strong but still a subordinate, perhaps he was sent as a Tao protector by some major force. Their strengths probably complement each other. The elders were perceptive. Two super strong eternal true gods, versed in Chaos Realm techniques, would likely specialize in different directions. Together, they could cover each other's weaknesses and handle far more danger. Once they join forces, they'll be even harder to deal with. Some began to worry. We've already dispatched powerful forces, the Heart Shadow Gatemaster said calmly. A report arrived. Gatemaster, Luohe's subordinate Luo Sa is very strong. Should I move now? Chuyi, the Gatemaster answered, you are a hidden asset of the Heart Shadow sect. You will act when we take the field against Marquis Nine Jiang's army. For Luohe and Luo Sa, we must use public forces. I have dispatched the Heart Demon Kite, the Six Shadow Killing Formation, and the Great Destruction Absolute Array. That represents 50% of the sect's strength, enough to deal with them, he continued. Chuyi went silent. The Gatemaster was somewhat relieved. Sending forth the sect's scattered disciples across the Origin continent had paid off. Chuyi, once merely a relatively competent eternal true god, had advanced to rival Heart's Eye Elder and had cultivated a profound God-King level legacy that let him control the sect's guardian mechanical secret treasure, the Heart Shadow Demon General. The Heart Shadow sect possessed 5 God-King level legacies. Any eternal true god could attempt parts of them if they passed the test, but the Heart Shadow legacy was the most revered and the hardest to cultivate. The sect's very name came from it. If Chuyi could control the Heart Shadow Demon General, he would be even more troublesome than Heart's Eye Elder with his Heart Demon Kite. Chuyi is arrogant and avoids communicating with other elders, the Gatemaster mused. With his strength, he could be an elder, but once this war ends, he'll leave. So will Heart's Eye Elder. Many disciples had settled across the Origin continent and ignored the sect's summons. They'd returned only because of sectal grace or Chaos Realm orders. This Luohe is ruthless. He slaughters any Heart Shadow sect disciple involved in the massacre, someone observed. The Gatemaster and elders watched the scenes with mounting anxiety. Heart's Eye Elder's avatar materialized. Just me and the Heart Demon Kite would only match him. I couldn't stop him alone. I'm waiting for the 6 Shadow Killing Formation to converge. Then, with the Great Destruction Absolute Array activated, we can trap and annihilate him. The Great Destruction Absolute Array required 360 Eternal True Gods to activate, one of the sect's true killing moves. At the City Lord's mansion, the leaders of the 5 great families watched the surveillance with interest. Luo Feng's power was unsurprising, but his subordinate Luo Sa's strength surprised them. Her Royal Highness the Princess once tried to recruit Luohe for the king, but he refused. He must have serious backing, Huyang City Lord said. This subordinate Luo Sa is low-key, but his strength rivals Luohe's. The stronger they are, the better, another elder said. If Luohe and his subordinate assist in the war, that's like having an elite army. At the Yanfeng Guild, Deputy Palace Master Xingje Di Chuyu also watched. Luohe has background, but it can't match my Emperor Chu lineage, he said with a smile. The Yanfeng Ancient Kingdom's imperial family was the most formidable backing on the Origin continent. The only equal was the Thunder Ancient Country's imperial family. The legendary Yuan would be even more attractive to disciples, but Yuan had no time for teaching. Securing opportunities left behind by him was already exceptional. Di Chuyu analyzed Luo Feng's technique. His cultivation accumulation is deep but a little chaotic. His Chaos Realm techniques draw on the great Tao of life and the great path of destruction, a mixture of the two. That's risky, the deputy curator agreed. The supreme rules include the Origin Great Paths, and each Origin Great Path provides clear guidance. Mixing paths without a complete legacy means no guidance, only self-exploration. Progress will be very hard. It's fine. What he has now isn't even a superficial understanding of the great Tao. Once he returns to the ancient kingdom and receives part of my Emperor Chu lineage's legacy, he'll know how to cultivate, Di Chuyu decided. Meanwhile, Luo Feng swept through the refining workshops, collecting refiners, apprentices, and customers. Anywhere he knew which Heart Shadow Sect Eternal True God had carried out massacres, he executed them without hesitation. Strange, he thought the Heart Shadow Sect would move faster, but he hadn't yet met their truly powerful killing moves. He had already cleared the 5th refining workshop. God Lord Luo He, the refiners cried, and the remaining Heart Shadow Sect disciples scattered at his approach. Luo Feng's Shengmi domain prickled. He waved his hand to gather the cultivators and looked up. In the distance, a black, bird-like mechanical secret treasure appeared, flanked by 6 colossal machines forming an array. Heart Demon Kite. Luo Feng recognized it instantly, one of the Heart Shadow Sect's famed guardian secret treasures. Each of the sect's guardian treasures was powerful and mysterious. Many had been lost over the years, and the threshold to control one was impossibly high. He sent another address to Morosa. One more refining workshop entrusted to you. I've got it, Master, Morosa replied, calm as ever. Of the 9 refining workshops, Luo Feng had taken 5. The remaining 4 would be handled by Morosa. The enormous black bird with scarlet eyes let out a contemptuous cry. Luo He, my Heart Shadow Sect has treated you with respect, yet you act so recklessly. You seek your own death. Enough talk. Luo Feng wasted no more words. The longer he delayed, the more the Heart Shadow Sect would mobilize. He leapt into the sky. Immediately, the dark grand array above erupted. A vast, shadowy vortex enveloped and bound him. The Heart Demon Kite and the 6 Shadow Killing Formation struck at the same time. Luo Feng's divine power flared, his Shengmi domain ignited, a massive Tai Chi-like cloud of annihilation rolling outward and shattering the dark vortex. The Heart Shadow Sect's grand array, though large, was only slightly stronger than the old Huyang City array and far inferior to Luo Feng's Shengmi domain. The Tai Chi cloud surged in every direction. Luo Feng stood in the center of the high sky, gripping the blood shadow blade. Seal! 6 colossal, indistinct shadows materialized around him, as if nailing this part of the world in place. The Heart Demon Kite gave an ear-splitting shriek and pounced. Its cry struck directly at Luo Feng's will. Die! As it launched a will attack, the Heart Demon Kite's claws tore space itself, leaving streaks of cracked reality in their wake. Bang! Under the weight of the will assault, it was like an indomitable spirit inside a fragile shell, smashing against an immense mountain. A killing array of destruction? Morosa's eyes lit up. Already experienced in the Chaos Realm and well-versed in the Destruction Origin Great Path, he immediately recognized many of the array's terrifying subtleties. The creator must be the God King who founded the Heart Shadow Sect. His realm is far beyond mine, he observed. They've perfectly fused 36 destruction techniques into a single formation and used the diagram to bind 360 eternal true gods into it. Brilliant. Really brilliant. Even 3,000 eternal true gods, if they fought separately, wouldn't match the effectiveness of this one killing array. Morosa sent a mental warning to Luo He. Master, if we fall into that array, we'll have to reveal some unusual power to break out. It does have a weakness, though. The array cannot traverse space. The eternal true gods are already pushing their limits to sustain it. If they try to move it through space, it will surely collapse. If the array could chase across space, there would be no escape, Luo He replied. The Heart Shadow Sect had no such capability. If enemies appeared by traversing space and the array already covered a vast area when they did, escape would be impossible. Across the Origin continent, it was almost unheard of for eternal true gods to assemble such a formation. Neither you country nor she country had ever seen anything like it. Boom, boom, boom. The vast formation expanded, blotting out half the sky and enveloping the area. The 360 eternal true gods on the illusory diagram felt both vindicated and frustrated. If the Heart Shadow Elders could trap Luo He long enough, their Great Destruction Absolute Array could entirely consume him. They watched as Luo He in the distance swung his blade and unleashed 3 consecutive strikes. The first was dazzling, tearing open space and leaving a pitch-black fissure. This attack, called Refining Heart, targeted soul and will. The 360 eternal true gods, linked through the array diagram, had melded their souls and wills into a single force. The blow made them ache, but they endured and the array held. The second strike was a sweeping blade of light that stirred the limitless chaos and generated violent chaotic currents. It cleaved through the great array and made the entire formation shudder. The third strike was silent, vanishing the instant it was released. When it reappeared, it had already struck one of the eternal true gods inside the array. The array's light flowed over him, forcefully countering Luo He's sneak attack. 3 strikes had been launched, and the great array withstood them all. Frontal assault, soul and will blow, and an array counter. No flaws. As expected of the Heart Shadow Sect's deadliest killing array, impressive, Luo He said, watching the formation. He transmitted to Morosa, "Let's go." "All right," Morosa replied. The two of them instantly traversed space, forcing through the spatial seal and bursting past the dark array that loomed over the sky. They slipped out of Hujiang City's bounds. Immediately, the vast Great Destruction killing array stalled. The 360 eternal true god disciples on the diagram looked helpless, but this outcome had already been expected. If they failed to entangle Luo He, they had already lost half the battle, unless Luo He chose to enter the array of his own accord. He escaped, the Heart Shadow Gate Master and the 18 Heart Shadow Elders said as they watched the scene on the sect's array display. Blind Elder Sang frowned. Luo He's soul and will have reached the pinnacle of the Chaos Realm. His cultivation in his realm is profound. There are no flaws for us to seize. The Heart Shadow Sect can't hold him alone. Under our encirclement, ordinary eternal true gods break, but the most terrifying individuals, if they truly want to flee, may slip past us. The strength Luo He displayed left the Heart Shadow Sect helpless. Because of him, we lost 6 supersized mechanical secret treasures and dozens of eternal true gods, one elder complained. The elders are furious. "No more dithering," the Heart Shadow Gate Master said. "Our real enemy is the 9 Jiang Marcus's army. When the army mobilizes, it will be a brutal engagement, direct, overwhelming force. With multiple arrays erupting together, he'll be forced to flee. And as a lone hireling, his price is astronomical. The 9 Jiang Marcus may not be willing to pay." "Right," another elder muttered. Luo He quoted 200 million cosmic sand. Even a lower bid would still be vast. He shouldn't appear on the battlefield. None of the elders wanted to face Lord Luo He in open war. The Heart Shadow Gate Master gave the order. "No more hesitation. Stick to the plan and plunder the rest of Hujiang City." Hujiang City held a huge number of eternal true gods and void true gods. Luo He and Morosa had already rescued what they could. Saving 9 refining shops had been a struggle. Delay any longer, and the Heart Shadow Sect would set multiple traps, moving void true gods into killing arrays that would be difficult to escape. Luo He was willing to help others, but not at the cost of his own safety. Some eternal true gods in the city had seen Luo He's clash with the Heart Shadow Sect. If I had Lord Luo He's strength, what could the Heart Shadow Sect do? Juyu thought from afar. The Ju clan, overtly and covertly, once had over 20 eternal true gods stood among Hujiang City's strongest families. Now only Juyu and Ju Fuqing remained in the city, struggling to protect their clansmen. Juyu muttered and slipped away, dimming his aura to the level of an ordinary true god. He was the family's best at concealing himself. Outside the city, a figure in dark red armor watched Hujiang City from a distance. His eyes burned like twin blood-red flames. Lord Luoyin observed calmly. Even as a mere sliver of his divine power avatar, he stood in a far higher realm. His gaze seemed to merge with the shadowed edges of the world, able to peer into nearly every corner of the city, except for sections sealed by arrays or repelled by domains. "This Luo He is stronger than I expected. I didn't think his soul and will would be so formidable," Luoyin said to himself. One man can't change the outcome of the campaign. The Heart Shadow Sect only revealed part of its strength. With 1,000 of their eternal true gods erupting together and arrays cooperating, what can the 9 Jiang Marcus use to resist? He smiled thinly. Having the Heart Shadow Sect strike a major city within his fief was worth the trouble. 9 Jiang Marcus, dare he personally enter the fray? Lord Luoyin's eyes grew cold. Fiefdom struggles were never mere skirmishes. To join them was to risk everything. Luo He and Morosa had just reached a wilderness outside the city when a familiar figure in white hair appeared before them. "Lord Luo He," the youth smiled. It was Jiang Yuyo, one of the 9 Jiang Marcus's 4 chief personal guards, who had visited Luo He on the Marquis's behalf before. "Commander Jiang," Luo He greeted. "The Marquis wishes to meet you," Jiang Yeo said. "Would you accompany me? He is in a military camp not far from here." Luo He blinked. "The Marquis has arrived? It's his divine power avatar," Jiang Yeo explained. Luo He and Morosa followed him, and after a dozen short spatial traversals, arrived at a small city floating on a lake, a compact settlement that might better be called a large cavern dwelling. Inside a pavilion, the Jiang Marquis sat drinking. The Marquis wore loose robes and had silver hair that seemed to ripple across the limitless void. His appearance was handsome, but in a traveler between realms sort of way, where Lord Lu Yin embodied blood and calamity. The Jiang Marquis felt like a wanderer between heaven and earth. "Luo He," the Marquis said with a smile, gesturing to a seat. "Please sit." Luo He was taken aback by the civility. He sat while Morosa stood respectfully at his side. "With me, there's no need for such formality," the Jiang Marquis continued. "Call me Zhujiang." "Thank you, Marquis," Luo He replied. Morosa settled at his side, still careful in his manners. "I witnessed your clash with the Heart Shadow sect," the Marquis said, sighing. "In raw power, I don't think any eternal true god in you country can match you. One-on-one, to suppress that Heart Demon kite under the Heart Shadow Elders' control, only someone like you could do it." "You flatter me, Marquis," Luo He demurred. "Not flattery," the Marquis said. "In all of you country, there is no other eternal true god with a Chaos Realm peak-level will like yours." Luo He fell silent, no longer pretending modesty. The Marquis smiled. "No wonder you quoted a hiring fee of 100 million cosmic sand. You have the strength to justify it. I'm willing to pay 100 million cosmic sand to recruit you into my army to help resist Lord Lu Yin's invasion. Will you accept?" Luo Feng was a little surprised. Jiang Marquis had always been stingy before, but the way he handled the confrontation with the Heart Shadow sect this time had moved him. That much cosmic sand was a serious sum. "If the Marquis is willing to pay 100 million cosmic sand, Luo Feng will naturally join your forces," he said. "Ha ha ha! Good." Jiang Marquis nodded with satisfaction. "For this 100 million cosmic sand, do you want it transferred to your name at the Yanfeng Guild, or handed to you personally?" "Give it to me directly," Luo Feng replied. "All right, I'll hand it to you in person within 3 days." Jiang Marquis raised his cup and glanced at Morosa at his side. "Let's drink." Luo Feng and Morosa lifted their cups and drank. "If the employment ends when the Heart Shadow sect finally gives up, then that's fine," Luo Feng pressed. Lord Lu Yin's and Jiang Marquis's territories were adjacent. If this action failed now, there would likely be more provocations later. "The employment will end once the Heart Shadow sect completely withdraws," Jiang Marquis promised. "The longest employment period will not exceed 10 epochs." Luo Feng understood and raised his cup. To the Marquis. Jiang Marquis was in a good mood. He had spent a lot, but it greatly strengthened his forces. When the banquet broke up, the Marquis gave an instruction to a servant. "Lead Luo Feng and his servant to their residence." "Yes." The servant led Luo Feng and Morosa to a temporary residence in the city, spacious, over 100,000 kilometers in area, with fine accommodations. Only Jiang Marquis remained in the pavilion. "Father." A figure in green stepped out, a young man whose looks were about 70% like Jiang Marquis. Inviting Luo Feng cost a full 100 million cosmic sand. "Isn't that excessive? We only spent 30 million to invite a formation grandmaster." Jiang Marquis shook his head. Luo Feng's strength before didn't show much, but in this battle, his Chaos Realm pinnacle will was crucial on the battlefield. With him present, those 100-plus super-large mechanical secret treasures become largely useless. They won't dare rush about. If they encounter Luo Feng, even if they form a formation, it would be suicide, the Marquis said. The young man considered that, and his expression changed. Right. The 6 Shadow Killing formation used 6 super-large mechanical secret treasures together. In raw combat power, it could contend with Luo Feng, but under his spiritual will's influence, 5 of those treasures lost their resistance and were swept away. Spiritual will is miraculous in group tactics, Jiang Marquis sighed. An eternal true god with Chaos Realm pinnacle will is extraordinary. I've cultivated countless years and only reached Chaos Realm Pinnacle will myself. The young man nodded. With Luo Feng here, those super-large mechanical secret treasures can only hide inside the killing formation. Their threat is greatly reduced. Don't forget he also has a servant. If the master is in danger, the servant won't stand idle, the Marquise chuckled. Hiring one and getting another. Seeing it that way, the young man agreed that the 100 million cosmic sand was worth it. Father, when do we make our move? We're not ready yet. We need to wait. 9 Jiang Marcus's divine power avatar had already gone to the royal capital to recruit reinforcements. Originally, the Lu Yin Chao state and Zhujiang Chao state were roughly equal in strength, but the Heart Shadow sect's involvement, backed by a God King level foundation, tilted the balance. 9 Jiang Marquis needed more support. Relying only on Luo Feng and his servant wouldn't be enough. Inside their residence's cultivation chamber, Luo Feng sat cross-legged. Within the star tower tucked in his body, a wisp of his divine power avatar descended. A large number of rescued cultivators had gathered. Many were grateful and emotional. Everyone, Luo Feng said, Brother Shang and I have a deep bond. When Elder Chu asked me to help, I only had time to save the cultivators from the 9 largest refining workshops. I couldn't rescue every disciple of the Tianyan sect. There were far too many disciples scattered throughout the city. He had saved the 9 largest workshops. Uncle Fei, the metal life form, was moved to tears. He felt that Divine Lord Luo had sacrificed too much on their behalf. To save those 9 refining workshops in front of the Heart Shadow sect, we're all indebted, Uncle Fei said. To keep you safe during the battle, I had to bring you out of Shuyin City first, Luo Feng continued. If you want to return to Shuyin City later, I'll send you back when the war is over. We're not in a hurry. We're willing to follow the Divine Lord. You've shown us great kindness. The gathered cultivators, some void true gods but mostly true gods, expressed gratitude. Surviving in Shuyin City had been difficult. Being taken in by Divine Lord Luo felt like a stroke of luck. After comforting them, Luo Feng met with Menghua Lu Ju, a Luoya, and members of the Mo Yu family. Dreamflower Lord thanks the Divine Lord for saving her life, Menghua Lu Ju said sincerely. It's not really saving your life, Luo Feng chuckled. The Heart Shadow sect probably wouldn't have killed you. Menghua Lu Ju shook her head. Someone like me, who only knows music and illusions, would have all her treasures plundered without your help. I would likely have been captured by the sect's higher-ups and turned into an entertainer, or worse. If she'd been willing to become a mere musician or plaything, she wouldn't have come to Shuyin City to open the Dream Flower House. Powerful families prize eternal true God-level musicians. Then you must cultivate seriously. Relying on yourself is the way to lasting survival, Luo Feng advised. Cultivation, how easy that must be, she sighed. A Luo Ya, a void true god of the dry-leaf vine grass clan, listened nearby and felt conflicted. Her musical illusions were still inferior to the Lu Ju's. Keep accumulating, and you'll see results, Luo Feng told her with a smile. A Luo Ya, you must keep working hard. A Luo Ya nodded. Luo Feng then looked at the Mo Yu family, Mo Yu Qingyan, Mo Yu Li Feng's family, and the pregnant Mo Yu Chang. Thank you, Divine Lord, for saving our family, Mo Yu Li Feng said with gratitude. Luo Feng sighed. Mo Yu Lu Xing was very clever, but he fell into this calamity. Mo Yu Chang was the most sorrowful. The death of her master, Shang Tianyan, had been a terrible blow, and now her husband, Mo Yu Lu Xing, was dead as well. The child in her womb was now all she had left. Thank you, Divine Lord, for avenging Liu Xing, she said, grateful. In another layer of the Star Tower, Luo Feng cultivated in solitude. Over countless years, he had seen too many partings and reunions, and had felt helpless often. Outside, one Chaos Layer creature after another flew contentedly. 15 creatures Luo Feng had captured alive in the Chaos Layer over 5 epochs, each containing complete chaos laws within its body. They belonged to 6 species. For example, 3 Silverlight creatures formed by 108, 397, and 1091 silver droplets respectively. Studying them deepened his understanding of chaos laws. To this day, I've comprehended 16 Chaos Realm moves, and I can combine them, Luo Feng thought. Like rare mechanical secret treasures that contain several combinable Chaos Realm moves, the ability to link moves dramatically increases power. Yet despite his progress, he still hadn't fully grasped chaos laws. They seemed so close, clear and visible, but whenever he reached for them, he came up short. When I had 10 Chaos Realm moves, I felt I was just shy of mastering chaos laws. Now with 16 moves, I still feel just a little short. Luo Feng's talent was exceptional. His divine body far exceeded historical norms. His soul was powerful, and he possessed God-King level will. His comprehension should have been blazing. Even so, the final step eluded him. He resolved to continue accumulating and refining his understanding. Days passed. Shuyan City slowly returned to a semblance of peace, but most of the void true gods and eternal true gods had been thoroughly plundered. The Heart Shadow sect had made huge gains. On the highest peak of the Hun Dun Formation District, the Heart Shadow Gate Master and the 18 elders gathered, all looking toward the City Lord's mansion. Gate Master, shouldn't we take some casualties and break into the City Lord's mansion now? Suggested a one-eyed elder. What's the rush? The Gate Master replied, watching the distant mansion. We've sealed the City Lord's mansion completely. They can't get out and no longer threaten us. The City Lord's mansion is the core of Shuyan City. Shuyan is a super large city, built and reinforced over generations. An enormous mechanical city, the one-eyed elder said. If a formation grandmaster takes control of it, it can unleash terrifying power. Jiang Marquis will likely send a formation grandmaster into the City Lord's mansion, the Gate Master observed. We just need to wait patiently. For every one that comes, we'll intercept and kill them. They intended to keep the mansion as a trap to intercept reinforcements. We did set up a Great Destruction Absolute Array to trap the City Lord's mansion. We can intercept and kill any supporting formation grandmaster. But I think capturing the mansion sooner would prevent Jiang Marquis from controlling Shuyan City, the one-eyed elder countered. Heart's Eye Elder spoke up. I agree with the Gate Master. Intercepting formation grandmasters is key. This time, we attacked Shuyan City. Next time, we'll attack it again. In the future, we might even be forced to attack Zhujiang City. There are 3 large cities. As for truly top-tier formation grandmasters, if Jiang Marquis invites external powerhouses, even getting one would be troublesome for us. Killing formation grandmasters is more important than occupying the City Lord's mansion, Heart's Eye Elder said. Without formation grandmasters, the 3 large cities pose little threat, the Heart Shadow Gate Master concluded. Large cities' formations, built and reinforced over generations, were extremely complex. A city directed by a high-level formation grandmaster could unleash power that even surpassed the Heart Shadow sect's Great Destruction Absolute Array. That was why intercepting formation grandmasters was the paramount priority. Chapter 92, The Battle Begins. More than 10 days had passed since Lord Luo He's clash with the Heart Shadow sect. In the wilderness outside Huyang City, 2 figures appeared out of thin air. We're here, one murmured. They confirmed their direction, took a few steps, and traversed space to arrive at Jiang Marquis's military camp city. Outside the camp, Commander Zhang Yuyo waited. 2 true gods, you've arrived. The Marquis has been expecting you, he said, studying them. One was General Yong Hu, the one-horned man who had visited recently. The other was a thin man in loose robes whose renown in Yu country eclipsed even General Yong Hu's. Zhang Yuyo regarded the thin man with respect. Please lead the way, Commander Zhang, the thin man said with a smile. It is my honor to lead General Yue and General Yong, Zhang Yuyo replied, and escorted them to the Marquis. Inside the main hall of Jiang Marquis's residence, the Marquis sat calmly and watched as the 2 figures entered. Marquis, General Yu and General Yong have arrived, Zhang Yuyo reported. Both visitors bowed deeply. Greetings, Marquis, they said. They had long served under God Kings and knew clearly that God Kings and Chaos Masters occupied the highest rungs of power. Even God Kings showed deference to Chaos Masters because the relationship was reciprocal. Chaos Masters who pledged allegiance to a God King received powerful backing in return. Jiang Marquis and his peers wished to such opportunities, and so they treated high-level allies with due respect. No matter what, Chaos Masters outrank us eternal true gods, General Yong admitted. He had always longed for the Chaos Realm, but his own accumulations were still insufficient. Please sit, Jiang Marquis said with a smile. With your help against Lord Luoyan's forces, this campaign will go much smoother. It will largely rely on junior brother Yue. I'm only assisting, General Yang said. He welcomed any chance to take part in Chao state conflicts to gain resources. General Yu, however, was difficult to recruit. He lacked for little, since the Lord of Yu country was generous to him. I still need senior brother's protection, the thin man said with a smile. By the way, Marquise, you mentioned another reinforcement, Luohe? I've already sent Zhang Yo to invite him. He should arrive soon, Zhang Marquise answered politely. He valued Lord Luohe and General Yu above most. Yowu and Lord Luohe are both likely to reach the Chaos realm, he observed. He knew they might be stalled at a bottleneck for a long time, yet in time they could be equals to him. That's General Yowu and General Yonghu? Luo Feng and his attendant Morosa had come together. Zhang Yo explained, General Yuewu is the strongest eternal true god openly known in Yu country. Remarkably, he cultivates the law path with a very ordinary divine body. Through sheer accumulation, he has surpassed others like General Yonghu. General Yuewu is a master of formations, Zhang Yo continued admiringly. Once his formations are set, any eternal true god who enters them will find escape nearly impossible. Among those below the Chaos realm in Yu country, he is number one. The Marcus believes Yu Wu's accumulation makes his eventual ascent to the Chaos realm almost certain. Luo Feng listened appreciatively. The Origin continent still held many astonishing figures. Both General Yu Wu and Blood Cloud possessed ordinary divine bodies, but Yu Wu's strength was even greater, and God Kings treasured him. To become Yu country's strongest eternal true god without an infinite divine body is impressive, Morosa added. Jiang Yuyo smiled at Luo Feng. That's only in Yu country. In the two great ancient kingdoms, the most dazzling eternal true gods would almost certainly have infinite divine bodies. Luo Feng thought of his own origins in the primordial universe. Creatures there rose from the bottom through endless trials. Only a few became true gods in any reincarnation era, and those who did bore stronger wills and minds than most true gods on the Origin continent. He had been a dazzling presence across many eras, and that made his inner resolve unusually formidable. Marquise, Luo Feng, and Morosa entered the hall. Jiang Marcus rose a little and welcomed them. Lord Luo He and his attendant fought the Heart Shadow sect outright in Huyang City, the Marquis said. Even the sect's full strength could not stand against you. The reports of Lord Luo He in Huyang City have spread throughout Yu country, General Yu praised. For an eternal true god to hold the will of a Chaos realm pinnacle, that's extraordinary. Lord Luo He's experience must be remarkable. Luo Feng smiled modestly. He and Morosa had indeed taken heavy blows and come through. General Yu's formations are legendary, he said. Anyone below the Chaos realm would struggle to break them. True God, we meet again, General Yang said with enthusiasm. Luo Feng nodded in return. Jiang Marquis took the central seat. With General Yu and General Yang here, we only need to practice coordination. Once ready, we will strike. Understood, General Yu, General Yang, Lord Luo He and his attendant answered in unison. A vast formation filled the sky like spreading mist, covering an immense area. Yu Wu sat at the formation center, surrounded by 6 puppet constructs that he used to steer the whole array. At the forefront stood Luo Feng and Morosa, feeling endless currents of water swirl around them, emanating fierce power. Lord Luo He, you and your attendant will be the vanguard. If you meet a formidable enemy, you too must handle them. Yue Wu's gentle voice echoed in their minds. Don't worry, Luo Feng replied. He had received 100 million cosmic sand he intended to deliver. Senior Brother Yang, if you meet troublesome opponents, bind them, Yue Wu transmitted. All right, General Yang nodded. He had an infinite divine body and a legacy at God King level. Though he could not surpass Blood Cloud in some respects, his explosive power and the toughness of his divine body often exceeded Blood Cloud's. He had even grasped a few Chaos Realm techniques, crude though they were. His divine body let him withstand huge dangers, and without generous gifts from the God King, he earned his living through missions. All commanders and generals, follow my instructions. We'll drill 6 coordination methods, Yu Wu announced to the more than 3,000 eternal true gods standing in the formation. Ninjiang Marquise had summoned over 95% of the eternal true gods from the entire Zhujiang Chao state. This battle had to be won. The Marquise had not only called a divine clone, his true body was present as well. Even if they fell, he would protect his subordinates. Yes, the thousands of eternal true gods replied. They marshaled their troops and assembled massive mechanical secret treasures. Alone, they had been disorganized, but within Yuwu's formation, their strength synchronized. The cooperation among the super-larger mechanical treasures generated terrifying power and bolstered the confidence of many commanders. A formation master makes the whole army cooperate, doubling its strength or more, Luo Feng marveled. Ninjiang Marquise watched the coordinated scene from the command pavilion and nodded. The formation master had cost him 60 million cosmic sand. General Yang had cost 20 million. Lord Luo He was the most expensive recruit. Lord Luo He can frighten many of the enemy's eternal true gods, the Marquis thought. He knew how indispensable a terrifying vanguard could be on the battlefield. I will win this battle, Ninjiang Marquis told himself, though the thought of the expense pricked him. This campaign had cost him a full 180 million cosmic sand. Lord Lu Yin, on the other side, had only offered promises, no immediate payment. And if they lost, the Heart Shadow sect would have fought to the death for nothing. The Marquis wondered about future confrontations. With adjacent fiefdoms, Lord Lu Yin would not easily relent. After 3 days of disciplined drills, the forces felt fully prepared. Once we break the Heart Shadow sect and retake Huyang City, I will celebrate your achievements, Ninjiang Marquis declared, addressing the dense crowd of more than 3,000 eternal true gods. General Yu, General Yang, and Lord Luo He and his attendants stood on the front line. Now depart, the Marquis ordered. All the eternal true gods boarded a massive flying ship. With a thunderous boom, it broke through space. After several traversals, it arrived above Huyang City, levitating directly over the city lord's mansion, but a dark, grand formation isolated the mansion. The sudden appearance of the great ship threw the city into chaos. Not good. Ninjiang Marquis' army. They're here. Heart Shadow sect disciples scattered through the city briefly panicked. From the ship, over 3,000 eternal true gods watched Heart Shadow sect disciples moving below. Their battle plan had anticipated these distractions. The scattered disciples were ordinary rank-and-file members posted to control the city and to serve as bait to draw the Marquis' forces into the trap. Attack, Yu Wu commanded. Mist rolled across the sky. The great flying ship vanished into the formation, and Luo Feng and the others fell within Yu Wu's array. The mist ignited into a titanic fireball, a roaring sphere of flame and force that slammed into the Heart Shadow sect's dark grand formation. The shield over Huyang City shuddered and tore. The supersized fireball, its radius spanning billions of kilometers, hurled itself toward the city lord's mansion. They've come. In the Hundunjia district, the Heart Shadow Gatemaster and the 18 elders had already gathered, their divine power avatars assembled. They stared upward, faces cold. This was the sect's foundation. This battle could determine their survival. They would not yield. Chapter 93, Military Formation. Under Yu Wu's command, the Ninjiang Marquis' army formed an array that looked like a colossal fireball rolling forward, and at its very front stood Luo Feng and his attendants. Impressive, Luo Feng said, watching the countless flames that enveloped them. The power came from thousands of eternal true gods activating the formation. An array like this can combine the power of so many eternal true gods. It can even produce a qualitative change. He understood why such large-scale formations were only possible at the eternal true god level. Chaos Masters were too few across the origin continent. A second-rate country like you only had a few dozen Chaos Realm experts in total, and they were scattered and fiercely independent. Few would agree to serve as subordinates without vast rewards. Getting a handful of Chaos Realm experts together to form an array was already remarkable. A grand formation combining thousands of eternal true gods, however, required a leader like Yue Wu. Below them, explosions punctured the air. The Hundunjia district had long since been prepared with the Heart Shadow sect's Dark Prison World array, which activated as soon as the Ninjiang army entered. Chains of green light shot up and began to bind them. The fireball's surface burned and shattered some chains on impact, but more green bindings issued from the void and coiled around the fireball from every direction. Everyone, this is the Heart Shadow Sect's Dark Prison World Array, Yuowu announced calmly from the center of the formation, his voice carrying to all the eternal true gods. With their current strength, they can likely only deploy the Dark Prison World Array and the Great Destruction Absolute Array. Those two working together are their strongest formation strategies. We don't need to press them head-on. We just need to avoid their cutting edge and reach the City Lord's mansion. The fireball spun and fought the green chains while pushing forward toward the City Lord's mansion. From within the mansion, the five great families' leaders, the eternal true gods Mo Li Fei Yun, Diao Rongqi, Mo Yu Hu, and the others watched the terrifying confrontation. "Annihilate them," they ordered. As the fireball resisted, the Great Destruction Absolute Array formed above it, a mass of rolling clouds that obscured everything inside. The cloud formation slammed into the fireball, scattering flames and forcing chains to collapse and reform in an endless struggle. At the fireball's forefront, Luo Feng loomed large and struck like a cleaving saber through the sky toward the Great Destruction Absolute Array. Yuowu cooperated. The flames answered the strike, and a vast blazing saber light swept outward. The array trembled. Many eternal true gods setting it up felt a sharp pain in their souls. It's Luo He. Luo He is the vanguard. Everyone be careful. Hidden within the Great Destruction Absolute Array were colossal mechanical secret treasures, ready to strike. When they discovered Luo Feng was the vanguard, they hesitated. The Heart Shadow Gate Master ordered, "Heart Demon Kite and Heart Shadow Demon General, handle them." From within the clouds, a black flying beast and a dark humanoid figure surged out, the Heart Demon Kite, controlled by Heart's Eye Elder, and the Heart Shadow Demon General, controlled by Chu Yi. Junior brother Chu Yi, Luo He's spiritual will is terrifying. Don't try to go on the assault. Focus entirely on defense, Heart's Eye Elder transmitted. Among their guardian secret treasures, the Heart Shadow Demon General was stronger than the Heart Demon Kite. Heart's Eye Elder was surprised that a sect disciple could control such a treasure. Luo Feng noted the two guardian treasures with interest. His own imposing presence matched them. He unleashed two refining heart saber strikes. The saber lights flashed with spiritual sharpness. Heart's Eye Elder marshaled the eternal true gods and void true gods under him. Combined with the Heart Demon Kite, their spiritual will reached a level comparable to a top-tier Chaos Realm expert, not far from the peak Will Luo Feng showed externally. If they concentrated on steadfast defense, Luo Feng could at best suppress their will with little lasting effect. Last time, disaster had come because the Heart Demon Kite's spiritual will had actively invaded Luo Feng's divine body, an assault that had battered its members. Now the sect's spiritual will had recovered and was set to defend. They were not afraid. The Heart Demon Kite and Heart Shadow Demon General were augmented by the Great Destruction Absolute Array, while Luo Feng's strikes were amplified by the army formation. His saber techniques ranged from violent and crushing to silent and imperceptible, from bottomless depths to clever leverage. He had been cultivating for 5 epochs and had few chances to fight his fill. Now he used the battle to test the techniques he had refined. "Brother Luo He, focus on defense. Our goal is to reach the City Lord's mansion as quickly as possible," Yuowu transmitted. "Understood," Luo Feng replied. Yuowu was satisfied. The vanguard, Lord Luo He, was both powerful and resolute. The Heart Shadow Sect's grand arrays could not break through their own formation from within while he held the front. Then, both Yuowu and Luo Feng startled. A colossal flying ship appeared, its surface alive with countless array lights. Its power alone made Luo Feng's heart tremble. As it charged, it tore the air, leaving numerous spatial rifts in its wake. "Defeat them," came the voice from the flying ship. Inside sat the three-eyed man, Feng Yuqi, and more than 500 eternal true god disciples collectively controlled the vessel. The warship's terrifying power and scale eclipsed many grand arrays. Luo Feng instantly remembered intelligence reports about the armies of the two great ancient kingdoms. This was a military warship from the Yanfeng ancient kingdom. Yanfeng's military secret treasures and warcraft far outclassed typical Divine Kingdom gear, and the kingdom sold such machines at astronomical prices. That particular warship, the report said, would cost 500 million cosmic sand and need several hundred eternal true gods to operate. Any single warship could sweep away opponents below the Chaos Realm. For greater threats, they would deploy a Chaos Realm expert. This is a warship from Yanfeng, a mobile, terrifying grand array. Its power surpasses the Great Destruction Absolute Array. We cannot confront it directly. Yu Wu's warning spread through the formation. The army shifted instantly. The fireball dissolved and became a colossal stream of water, a flowing current without fixed form. Luo Feng, who had been clashing with the Heart Demon Kite and the Heart Shadow Demon General, found himself carried away with the flow. The warship rushed in, but the formation's water flow shifted and slithered, evading the warship's cutting edge. The massive vessel could not grasp or pin the slippery current. Each attempt only glanced off. The Heart Shadow Gate Master watched in shock and fury. If Yanfeng's warship had been in Yu Wu's hands, it might have been used with finesse. In Heart Shadow hands, it charged blindly and could not stop the formation's evasive flow. Their arrays, the Dark Prison World Array and the Great Destruction Absolute Array, could obstruct and influence, but the water flow refused to be entangled. In just a few dozen breaths, the army's water current had slipped into the city lord's mansion. Outside the city, the silver-haired Ninjiang Marquis watched from a distance and smiled with satisfaction. Yue Wu truly lives up to his reputation as the top array master below the Chaos Realm. His command of the formation clearly surpasses the Heart Shadow sects. They've finally entered the city lord's mansion. If they hold the mansion, they control Huyang City. With the city's support, their chances improve greatly. Lord Luyan, clad in dark red armor, frowned as he watched. There are over 3,000 eternal true gods in that formation, and powerful fighters like Luo He and General Yonghu. With Yu Wu leading, the Heart Shadow sect can't stop them. They intend to escape into the City Lord's mansion. Escaping won't win the war. A direct confrontation is still inevitable. Lord Luyan considered the risks. I don't care how many Heart Shadow sect members fall, but Ninjiang Marcus, if most of your army is casualties, what then? Pavilion Master Yanfeng, Emperor Chu Yu, and the deputy curator watched the battle in leisurely interest. Yu does have very high achievement in array formations, Emperor Chu Yu remarked. Even among the eternal true gods of Yanfeng Ancient Kingdom, few can rival this level. Talented powerhouses can appear anywhere on the periphery, the deputy curator added. Emperor Chu Yu shook his head. This warship is one of ours, from Yanfeng, cleverly arrayed and immensely powerful. Yet in the hands of the Heart Shadow sect it's so crude, only capable of charging headlong. The Heart Shadow sect has only two decent commanders, those controlling the Heart Demon Kite and Heart Shadow Demon General. The rest are nothing, the deputy curator said. But behind the Heart Shadow sect is Lord Luyan. I know his temperament well. If he's decided to wage a large war, it will be very hard for Ninjiang Marquis to win. Though they were of Yanfeng's imperial line, both men were wary of Lord Luyan. By realm and accumulation, he had already brushed the threshold of a god king. Lord Luyan is not to be underestimated, Emperor Chu Yu admitted. Without special circumstances, Ninjiang Marcus will most likely lose. The deputy curator agreed. They had traveled the origin continent and seen these dynamics before. Most battles between major powers ultimately hinged on the Chaos Realm experts behind them. Lord Luyan had only hired the Heart Shadow sect and had not even mobilized his own forces, yet he had forced Ninjiang Marcus to call in allies from everywhere to respond. Huyang City's City Lord's mansion dominated the center of the city like a small city of its own. It sprawled over an enormous area, far beyond any ordinary residence, and right now it was under heavy guard. Countless arrays shimmered with flowing light, protecting the main compound. Even if the Heart Shadow sect attacked, they would suffer losses trying to break in. They're here. On the mansion side, the leaders of the 5 great families, many eternal true gods, and a great number of void true gods watched with excitement as Ninjiang Marquis's army surged like a vast river toward the city lord's mansion. The main compound did not oppose them, and the army streamed inside. General Yuewu, General Yonghu, a host of mechanical stream secret treasures, and numerous eternal true gods arrived with them. Luo Feng and Morosa were among their ranks. Divine Monarch Luo Feng, General Yo, General Yang. The Huyang city lord and the family leaders greeted them respectfully. From now on, I will take command of the city lord's mansion, General Yuowu declared. The Marquis already ordered it. I'll follow your lead, the city lord said deferentially. No need. Senior brother Young, come with me. Yuowu and General Young who dissolved into two streaks of light and dove into the great underground of the mansion. When Ninjiang Marcus had invited Yuowu, he had already handed over the recorded array diagrams of Huyang City. As a direct disciple of the Lord of Yu country and someone with the potential to reach the Chaos realm, the Marquis trusted Yuowu not to leak them. Yuowu had already studied those diagrams and comprehended 70 to 80%. With a quick scan and investigation now, he knew how to take control and manage the arrays. In just a few breaths, the mansion's defenses responded. Above the mansion, the once flowing, colorful arrays shifted into something more chaotic and vast. Their power became palpably more terrifying. I need to get familiar with Huyang City's arrays. If the Heart Shadow sect attacks full force, you must hold the line, Yuowu transmitted to the gathered eternal true gods. Then, speaking privately to Luo Feng, he added, Brother Luo Feng, the mansion is stable now. Under normal circumstances, the Heart Shadow sect can't break through. But if something unusual happens, you'll need to hold them off. No one below the Chaos Realm can force their way through the City Lord's mansion, Luo Feng replied. Good. Yu Wu immersed himself in the city's arrays. He already knew the diagrams in theory, but being in direct control was different. Huyang City had been modified and layered with arrays for generations. They had become tangled and complex. Even Yue Wu had to take time to figure out how to unleash the city's full power. Inside the mansion, cultivators who had been living in fear breathed a sigh of relief. Divine Monarch. Mo Yuhu bowed when he saw Luo Feng and Morosa approaching. Thank you for saving us. The Mo Yu family are all in my spatial secret treasure. Would you like to see them? Luo Feng asked. I couldn't ask for more, Mo Yuhu said at once. Luo Feng nodded and waved him in. Nearby, Mo Li Fei Yun, Diao Rongqi, Gao Wushui, and others watched. Diao Rongqi bowed as Luo Feng's gaze passed over her. Luo Feng acknowledged her with a slight nod. Their connection was small but real. Morosa, keep an eye on the Heart Shadow sect. If anything dangerous appears, warn me immediately, Luo Feng transmitted. Morosa, being at the Chaos Master level, had far stronger observational ability. Don't worry, Master, Morosa answered promptly. Luo Feng and Morosa went up to a section of the city wall and sat calmly, sipping wine as they watched the world outside. Cavalry and infantry are essentially cannon fodder on the origin continent, Luo Feng mused. In conflicts between states, top-level figures rarely got fully involved, fearing to escalate the battlefield. To earn 100 million cosmic sand is so hard, he muttered. If I want more resources, I have to break into the Chaos realm. As an eternal true god, 100 million was a miracle. As a Chaos realm expert, even 1 billion could still be too little if you could invite just one such expert to the fight. Morosa looked at him quizzically. Master, what are you thinking about? About when I can reach the Chaos realm, Luo Feng said softly. For someone of the law lineage, I just don't know how long it will take. Just accumulate slowly, Morosa comforted. For him it felt easy. He ate, drank, and naturally broke through. Luo Feng merely glanced at him and didn't respond. Deep underground, Yuowu continued his work while General Yonghu stood guard. The Heart Shadow sect is strong, Yuowu said. That Yanfeng ancient kingdom warship is clumsy, so it's not our greatest threat. The real danger was the Heart Demon Kite and the Heart Shadow Demon General. If Luo Feng hadn't intercepted them, we'd be finished. Heart's Eye Elder is almost as strong as I am. Once he controls the Heart Demon Kite, I can't beat it, General Yonghu admitted. But Divine Monarch Luo Feng can take both on, Yuowu said. Your realm accumulation is too weak, Yonghu remarked. I think Luo Feng's realm accumulation isn't weaker than mine, Yuowu replied. General Yonghu blinked. The Lord of Yu country believes you'll reach the Chaos realm. Do you think Luo Feng could also make it? He will, Yuowu said. And he's different from me. He has the infinite divine body. That gives him an advantage. Once he becomes a Chaos Master, his divine body's purity and reserves will let him rise quickly. With some time, he could rival Nine Jiang Marquise. The infinite divine body, with its pure divine power and vast reserves, grants a Chaos Realm cultivator a major edge over others. You should try to befriend him while he's still an eternal true god, Yuowu advised Yonghu. I'll follow him into the future when I become a Chaos Realm expert, General Yonghu said with a flattering smile. He was eager. Only Yuowu made the Lord of Yu country pay particular attention to him. Over the years, senior brother Yong had done much for Yuowu, always ready to serve in hopes of securing favor. Yuowu understood Yonghu's drive for resources. He took on missions across the country. If I can help you in the future, I will, Yuowu promised, though the precondition was his own breakthrough. Even Yuewu felt uncertain, but I still haven't broken through. Is it always this difficult for the law lineage to reach the Chaos Realm? He shook off the doubt and focused on the arrays. On the Heart Shadow Sect side, the Gatemaster, the 18 Elders, and a divine power avatar of Chu Yi had gathered. We intended to use the City Lord's mansion as bait to ambush the Array Master, but Ninejiang Marquise's army marched in. Yuwu was invited, and we couldn't even threaten that Array Master, one elder complained. The Heart Shadow Gate Master swept his gaze over them. Ninejiang Marcus invited Yuowu, the Lord of Yu country's top Array Master, below the Chaos Realm. That strengthened their forces considerably. Plus, Luo Feng was in their ranks. Luo Feng's power is greater than any eternal true god in Yu country. He can fight two at once. He held off the Heart Demon Kite and Heart Shadow Demon General, another elder said. The Gatemaster shook his head. Our plan failed. Silence settled. Two guardian secret treasures working together had been blocked by a single eternal true god. Don't worry. They didn't dare to fight. They just retreated into the mansion, the Gatemaster said. But if they retreat, they can't control Huyang City and the Zhujiangchao state. We have to force a decisive battle. For the final fight, we have the Yanfeng Ancient Kingdom warship. In arrays and elite eternal true gods, we outmatched Ninejiang Marcus's forces, the Gatemaster declared, and the elders and Chu Yi agreed. As disciples of a divine king sect, their eternal true god disciples were generally stronger than those under Ninejiang Marcus. Their coordination and array work gave them an edge. Heart's Eye Elder Chu Yi, once the decisive battle starts, your orders are to pin down Luo Feng, the Gatemaster said. If he's entangled, the rest of our disciples can unleash their full strength. Heart's Eye Elder and Chu Yi nodded. There may be casualties, but if we trap Luo Feng, Ninejiang's threat will be much reduced. Victory is certain. That Luo Feng once tried to sell his services for 200 million cosmic sand, an elder muttered. Lord Luyan refused, but Ninejiang Marcus accepted. I wonder how much the Marquise actually paid. Probably not far off, another replied. They chatted briefly before the Gatemaster cut them off. Prepare for the decisive battle. The elders dispersed, but Heart's Eye Elder and Chu Yi stayed behind to speak with the Gatemaster. I've studied the situation carefully, the Gatemaster said, voice tight. Luo Feng made everything seem too easy. Even his servant, Morosa, didn't act. Your task to entangle Luo Feng will be heavy, the Gatemaster added. If you two cannot stop him, then don't be afraid to let him reach the disciples. If he kills our people, go and slaughter Ninejiang Marcus's eternal true gods in retaliation. In this war, we must win. Understood. Both Heart's Eye Elder and Chu Yi affirmed the order. The Gatemaster's three eyes narrowed with cold calculation. The fate of the Heart Shadow sect may come down to the two old ancestors. If they break through and no longer fear Nine-Source Great Sage, our sect will rise. If they don't, and we lose more disciples, the burden may lighten enough to keep the sect's operation going a while longer. His gaze was merciless. Chapter 27, Chaos Realm, Part 2. Huyang City, its city lord's mansion, the heart of the entire city, was like a small city unto itself. The estate occupied an enormous area, far surpassing any ordinary cave mansion. At this moment, it was under heavy guard. Countless formations shimmered with radiant light, protecting the main compound. Even if the Heart Shadow sect attempted an assault, they would take losses trying to breach it. They're here. Inside the city lord's mansion, the leaders of the 5 great families, many eternal true gods, and countless void true gods, looked up eagerly as the vast, river-like army formation of Zhujiang Marcus poured into the compound. The mansion did not block them. Its gates were opened to admit the formation. General Youwu and General Yonghu, together with many mechanical stream secret treasures and a host of eternal true gods, emerged. Luo Feng and Morosa were among them. Luo He, General Yue, General Yang. Huyang City Lord and the other family leaders greeted them respectfully. From now on, the entire City Lord's mansion will be under my control, General Yuwu announced. The Marquis has already given the orders. I'll follow your lead, Huyang City Lord said deferentially. No need. Senior Brother Yang, take your place behind me. Youwu and General Yang, who became streaks of light and descended into the deep vaults of the mansion. When Zhujiang Marquis had accepted the Heart Shadow Sect's challenge, he'd already handed Youwu all the recorded formation diagrams of Huyang City. As a personal disciple of the Lord of Yu country and someone with the potential to reach the Chaos Realm, Youwu was trusted not to leak them. He had already studied the diagrams, understanding 70 to 80% of Huyang City's formations. With only a quick scan and a sensing of the real formations, he now knew how to seize and manage them. Buzz! Above the mansion, the once orderly protective formations suddenly rearranged, their power spiking into a more terrifying coherence. I need to familiarize myself with Huyang City, Youwu sent via transmission to the assembled eternal true gods. If the Heart Shadow Sect launches a full assault, you all focus on defense. Then he transmitted privately to Luo Feng. Luo He, the City Lord's mansion is secure for now. Under normal circumstances, the Heart Shadow Sect cannot break through, but if special circumstances arise, you must be prepared to resist. Anyone below the Chaos Realm shouldn't even dream of breaching the City Lord's mansion, Luo Feng replied. Haha, good. Yue Wu immersed himself in the city's formation network. He had comprehended the diagrams before. Now he was actually controlling the formations. He discovered that Huyang City had been modified generation after generation, formations stacked atop formations, until the whole system was a tangled mess. Even someone of his level had to work to map and master the release of its power. In only a few breaths, he began to get it under control. Inside the main mansion, cultivators who had spent the last hours in fear finally exhaled in relief. Mo Yuhu saw Luo Feng and Morosa approach and saluted. Divine Lord, thank you for saving us. All of the Mo Yu family are in my spatial secret treasure. Would you like to see them? Luo Feng asked. I couldn't ask for more, Mo Yuhu said at once. Luo Feng nodded and waved his hand, drawing Mo Yuhu into his secret space. At a distance, Mo Li Fei Yun, Diao Rongqi, Gao Wushui, and the others watched. Diao Rongqi saluted when Luo Feng's eyes lingered on her. He returned the gesture with a nod. He and Diao Rongqi had some connection. Morosa, keep an eye on the Heart Shadow Sect. If any danger appears, notify me immediately, Luo Feng transmitted mentally. Morosa, at the Chaos Master level, had far keener observational abilities than most. Don't worry, Master, he replied. Luo Feng and Morosa climbed to a point on the city wall and calmly scanned the landscape beyond. That is Luo He. The Heart Shadow Sect's 13 gate-guarding secret treasures are famed. Any single one is almost invincible below the Chaos Realm. Yet 2 gate-guarding treasures, the Heart Demon Kite and the Heart Shadow Demon General, together only matched Luo He. Yes, if Luo He hadn't intercepted them, the Heart Demon Kite and the Heart Shadow Demon General, carrying the Great Destruction Absolute Array, would have forced their way in. Our casualties would have been disastrous. The eternal true gods on the wall felt obvious relief. Luo Feng sat with Morosa, leisurely drinking and observing. He had no illusion about army formation battles. At the highest level on the Origin continent, such fights were often cannon fodder. High-ranking figures seldom intervened directly, fearing to escalate wars. Earning 100 million cosmic sand is so difficult, he thought. To obtain more resources, I must step into the Chaos Realm. For an eternal true god, acquiring 100 million cosmic sand was a windfall. But a Chaos Realm expert? They could be worth far more, and even 1 billion might be insufficient to entice one into a conflict. Morosa watched him curiously. Master, what are you thinking about? About when I can reach the Chaos Realm, Luo Feng murmured. For a law path cultivator, it's hard to tell when I'll get there. Just accumulate slowly, Morosa said cheerfully. He himself had advanced almost naturally through consumption and ease. Luo Feng glanced at his servant and fell silent. Deep beneath the mansion, Wu continued to map Huyang City's formations, with General Yonghu standing guard. "The Heart Shadow sect is strong," Wu said. "The Yanfeng Ancient Kingdom warship is crude and manageable, but the Heart Demon Kite and the Heart Shadow Demon General, if Luohe hadn't blocked them, we wouldn't have won." "Indeed," General Yonghu admitted, "Heart's Eye Elder's strength is close to mine. Once he controlled the Heart Demon Kite, even I couldn't defeat it." "But Luohe can fight 2-on-1, Wu said. "His realm accumulation is better than you think." General Yonghu was taken aback. "Junior brother, even the Lord of Yu country believes you will reach the Chaos Realm. Could Luohe reach it as well?" "Yes, he will," Wu said. "And he is different from me. He has the infinite divine body. After reaching the Chaos Master level, that body gives tremendous advantages: purity of divine power, vast reserves. A Chaos Realm expert with the infinite divine body can grow far faster than one with an ordinary body. If Luohe continues cultivating, he could rival Zhujiang Marcus. You should seize the opportunity to befriend him while he is still an eternal true god," Wu added, glancing at General Yonghu. "Junior brother, you will also reach the Chaos Realm in time. Following you will be the right path," General Yonghu said with ingratiating warmth. There was nothing else he could do. The Lord of Yu country's favor was rare and powerful, and Wu alone commanded that special attention. Wu smiled. Senior brother Yang had done many things for him through the years, serving loyally. Although other disciples respected Wu, none were as obsequious as General Yonghu. "Should you need help in future, I will aid you," Wu promised, provided he himself could break through. The Lord of Yu country and the other divine kings all said Wu's accumulation was profound. Yet Wu still felt uncertain. He focused instead on comprehending Huyang City's knot of formations. On the Heart Shadow sect side, the Gate Master, 18 elders, and the divine power avatar of Chu Yi had gathered. "We intended to use the city lord's mansion as bait to ambush the formation master," one elder complained. "But Zhujiang Marquise's forces entered the mansion, and we couldn't even threaten that formation master." The Heart Shadow Gate Master's gaze swept the assembly. This time, Zhujiang Marcus spared no expense. He invited Wu, the top formation master below the Chaos realm in Yu country. That greatly strengthened their array, and Luohe is inside their formation as well. Luohe's strength exceeds any eternal true god in Yu country. He can handle 2 attackers. He even held off the Heart Demon Kite and the Heart Shadow Demon General, the Gate Master said, shaking his head. "Our plan failed." Silence followed. 2 gate-guarding treasures together had been stopped by one eternal true god. "Don't worry," the Gate Master said. "They didn't dare to fight and only retreated into the city lord's mansion. But if they keep cowering, they cannot govern Huyang City or the Zhujiang Chao state. We must force a final decisive battle. When that battle begins, we have the Yanfeng Ancient Kingdom warship. In formations and in the elite ranks of our eternal true gods, we surpass Zhujiang's army," he declared. The 18 elders and Chu Yi acknowledged this. Divine king sects typically produced eternal true god disciples stronger than those under a Marcus. Their formation coordination and overall quality were superior. "Heart's Eye Elder, junior brother Chu Yi, when the decisive battle begins, you two must entangle Luohe," the Gate Master ordered. "If he's pinned down, the rest of our disciples can unleash their full strength." Heart's Eye Elder and Chu Yi both nodded. "There may be casualties, but as long as Luohe is entangled, Zhujiang Marquise's army will be weakened." "We will win," the Gate Master continued. "That Luohe once offered us a bounty of 200 million cosmic sand. Lord Luyin refused, but Zhujiang Marcus accepted. I wonder how much he paid," an elder mused. "Probably not much less. Zhujiang Marcus is generous. Enough about payments. Prepare for the final decisive battle," the Gate Master snapped. The elders dispersed. Heart's Eye Elder and Chu Yi lingered, watching the Gate Master. "I've considered the situation carefully," the Gate Master confessed in a lower voice. "I always feel that Luohe handled everything too easily. Even his servant Luosa didn't act. Your mission will be heavy. Entangling Luohe won't be easy." Heart's Eye Elder and Chu Yi exchanged looks. Both were proud, but in the previous clash, the servant Luosa had indeed held back. If you truly cannot stop him, then do not hold back elsewhere, the gatemaster said, his eyes glittering with killing intent. If he intends to slaughter my sect's disciples, you two must go and slaughter the eternal true gods under Zhujiang Marquis. We must win this war. Understood. It will be bloody, but we understand. Heart's Eye Elder and Chuyi bowed and left. The gatemaster stared into the distance. The fate of the Heart Shadow sect rests on our two old ancestors. If they break through, and they are not fearful of Nine-Source Great Sage, our sect will rise rapidly. If the old ancestors fail to break through and more disciples fall, the burden of maintaining the sect will be lighter, and it may endure longer. The three eyes of the Heart Shadow Gatemaster were cold as iron. Chapter 96, Chaos Evolution Volume 2, Chapter 28, Chaos Evolution. Luo Feng stared at the Snow Realm envoy before him, a surge of joy in his chest. This Snow Realm envoy truly lives up to its reputation as the Snow Realm lineage's mechanical secret treasure. Remarkable, he said. Although he greatly disliked the ancient god king known as the Snow Realm ancestor, Luo Feng had to admit the old man's attainments in the great Tao of life were extraordinarily deep. According to records from his master Zuo Shank, the Snow Realm ancestor's strength should be comparable to Zuo Shanki's. But because he cultivated the great Tao of life, his life preservation abilities were far superior. Over countless years, many ancient god kings had fallen, yet Snow Realm Ancestor, despite monstrous sins and many powerful enemies, had managed to survive to the present day. That said everything. Different origin great paths have different strengths, Luo Feng thought. When it comes to survival, the great Tao of life is unmatched. He had personally witnessed a complete life origin great path and understood its immense power. Master even one branch, and you could traverse the origin continent freely. Rather than attack, you praise. Are you afraid? Lu Yin, who commanded the Snow Realm envoy, grew impatient. I want to see just how strong a top-tier eternal true god really is. The Snow Realm envoy lunged, a flash of cold light sweeping over Luo Feng. Normally such a strike would corrode an eternal true god's body, severing his vitality. Luo Feng, however, simply swung his blade in a casual arc. The blade light flowed like water and met the envoy's charge, stopping it dead and sending it skidding back. As it recoiled, the envoy abruptly changed course and accelerated. Its form blurred into afterimages and it unleashed a flurry of continuous attacks. Luo Feng held his ground, parrying flawlessly. Everyone retreat. Return to the City Lord's mansion. An order crackled in his ear. Instantly, the entire military formation shifted like mercury, flowing directly for the City Lord's mansion. With the support of over 100 major formations across Huyang City, and with Luo Feng holding the Snow Realm envoy at bay, the troops had fully withdrawn into the mansion within only a few breaths. Luo He, the Marquis has ordered a withdrawal, Yue Wu transmitted. Luo Feng understood immediately. He had just comprehended the Chaos laws and was at the weakest stage of the Chaos realm. His small universe had only begun to expand. His true god heart had not yet transformed. His divine body and power were still unchanged, and he hadn't had time to grow or study any Chaos realm inheritances. To reveal his grasp of the Chaos laws now would be utter folly. Marquis Luyan would not hesitate to crush him. Chapter 97, Secret Dharma Practice, Volume 2. Chapter 29, Secret Technique Cultivation. In Huyang City, the City Lord's mansion had assigned a separate manor, tens of thousands of kilometers across, for Luo Feng's residence. Inside the Star Tower's cultivation chamber, Luo Feng sat cross-legged, every fiber of his being attuned to his true god heart. As his small universe expanded to a diameter of 1 trillion light-years, his true god heart, linked to that small universe, grew stronger and more resilient. A continuous current of chaos divine power flowed into it. True God Heart, evolve chaos, Luo Feng thought. Chaos divine power surged within his true God Heart, and a space began to unfurl and stabilize until it became a complete chaos space. For a Chaos Realm cultivator of the Law lineage, evolving a chaos space was straightforward. Even so, Luo Feng's chaos space was vaster and more stable than most at his level. A massive infusion of chaos divine power rushed into his divine body, rattling it as it began to transform. Luo Feng felt his divine body like a parched desert that greedily drank any power it could take in. For my divine body to reach its limit will probably take a long time, he reflected. Fortunately, his small universe's absorption and conversion efficiency were exceedingly high. As one of the perfect form small universes at his level, it converted incoming energy into chaos divine power with terrifying speed, and the time flow difference in his distant homeland was 10,081 times that of origin continent. Every moment produced staggering amounts of divine power. If an ordinary Chaos Realm cultivator had to absorb that influx on origin continent, their divine body would max out within a day. For Luo Feng's Chaos Realm perfect divine body, the power was swallowed silently without ripple. He could feel changes. His divine power had been purified 100-fold. With a larger physique and all-around improvements in his realm, he was already much stronger than he had been as an eternal true god. I wonder how wide the gap will be between Lord Liu Yin and me once my divine body reaches its limit, he mused. There was no record of a Chaos Realm perfect divine body on Origin Continent, so Luo Feng could only guess at the endpoint. On the surface, among Shi country's Chaos Realm cultivators, nearly 10 had infinite divine bodies. Lord Liu Yin did not possess an infinite divine body, yet his strength still ranked among the top 5. First, Luo Feng decided he would focus on cultivating secret techniques. He cleared his mind and began studying the secret techniques suited to the Chaos Realm. Most Chaos Realm cultivators prioritized life-saving techniques. Even God Kings, lofty and powerful as they were, treated Chaos Realm cultivators with some respect because they could not be absolutely certain of killing them. The primary life-saving secret technique was the Reincarnation secret technique. Luo Feng studied it carefully. The technique preserved a wisp of true soul so the cultivator could reincarnate. After death, that fragment of soul would undergo rebirth according to the supreme rule. With the Reincarnation secret technique, there was a chance of retaining memories after reincarnation. Historical records of powerful reincarnated figures indicated that whether memories and consciousness persisted depended on the strength of the soul will. A God King level could remain conscious even in the fetus, possessing complete memories and thus able to rapidly recover strength after birth. A Chaos Realm peak could generally retain full memories in a wisp of true soul, though the timing of awakening was uncertain. It might occur in youth or only after reaching Void True God or Eternal True God. Weaker soul wills often retained incomplete memories and had negligible chances of awakening. The past life remained utterly gone. As long as a Chaos Realm cultivator retains a trace of consciousness, reincarnation is possible, Luo Feng thought. He knew that even forces considered modest on Origin Continent, like the Duandong He lineage, held the Undying River technique. The greater the inheritance, the more survival techniques they had. If death wasn't instantaneous and total, reincarnation could follow, and karma would be severed. From the outside, the person's past identity was hidden. God Kings who had kingdoms and attachments would be wary of creating such terrifying enemies. That caution explained the deference God Kings sometimes showed Chaos Realm cultivators. Luo Feng reflected that some rising geniuses and newly ascended God Kings on Origin Continent might actually be reincarnated veterans. His master Zuo Shank had already reincarnated, as had the God King ancestor who founded the Heart Shadow sect and the third-generation patriarch of the Duandong He lineage, publicly declared dead, but perhaps secretly reborn. If one did not truly die and a trace of power quietly reincarnated under a hidden identity, who could know? Reincarnation could sever ties and hide from powerful foes. Because of reincarnation, almost all ancient God Kings were able to obtain infinite divine bodies, Luo Feng noted. Reincarnation could remedy divine body shortcomings, but it had drawbacks. The reincarnated identity was uncontrollable, and the fetal stage was perilous. A fetus's soul was extremely weak. Even if it understood chaos laws, it could hardly exert much strength. Thus, those who chose active reincarnation were usually God King level, masters of a branch of the Origin Great Path, able to form complete cosmic operating rules and open a small universe to keep the supreme rule at bay. Their survival odds during reincarnation were much higher. Luo Feng preferred not to reincarnate. If he did, his small universe would be destroyed, and countless humans inside it, save for a very few he could protect and send to Origin Ancestors' small universe, would be annihilated. His divine power avatar would be destroyed, cutting contact with his family. He would lose the ability to observe the life origin great path. The soul enslavement he had over Morosa would dissipate, freeing Morosa as a world beast. Reincarnation was a last resort. He spent 3 days mastering the reincarnation secret technique. Its origins were obscure, but it was simple enough that almost every Chaos Realm cultivator could learn it, and most forces had records of the method. Then Luo Feng turned to other techniques: Chaos Great Strength Diagram, Breaking World 9 Blades, Broken Extinction, Dong He, Li Yuan Art, and began to study them one by one. Far to the south of Yu Country lay a vast lake. In its center rose an island, and on that island stood a city slightly larger than Huyang. High above, Ninjiang Marquise's divine power avatar hovered, looking down at the ancient, majestic city, constructed by relocating mountain peaks, home to countless citizens and lively streets. Ninjiang descended unseen and slipped into a cave dwelling within the city. "Brother Yanyu," he greeted with a bow. The door opened and an old servant invited him in. Inside a pavilion, a four-armed man was absorbed in carving. He worked on a model of a city, his knife leaving intricate patterns on the wood. As he carved, identical patterns manifested on the real island city's walls, as if the model and the city were linked. Ninjiang watched, smiling. After some time, the four-armed man set down his knife and looked up. "Is something wrong?" he asked. "You're incredible with array formations," Ninjiang praised. "Across Origin Continent, among Chaos Realm cultivators, few can compare to you." The four-armed man smiled faintly, but deflected the praise. "Say what you came for directly." Ninjiang's tone turned urgent. "You know my fief borders Lord Luoyin's. He's already dispatched troops to seize my Zhujiang Chao's state. I'm no match for him. I've come asking for your help." The four-armed man nodded, sympathy in his face. "That's unfortunate." "Brother Yanyu," Ninjiang pressed on, "if you intervene and speak a few words, Lord Luoyin would retreat. He wouldn't dare offend you." Yanyu shook his head. "If I step in and Lord Luoyin doesn't give me face, it would be an embarrassment." "He wouldn't dare," Ninjiang insisted. "You're an emperor's personal disciple. How could he refuse you?" The title of emperor belonged only to the successive supreme rulers of the Yanfeng ancient kingdom. Each emperor's strength was unfathomable and their prestige immense. Aside from Thunder Ancient Country, no force would provoke an emperor. Even a world beast from Tianmu Country would be annihilated for doing so. Hearing emperor's personal disciple seemed to stir something in Yanyu. Once, being accepted as such had been the most brilliant moment of his life. He had been full of youthful ambition and dreamed of ascending to God King. Years passed, those dreams faded, and he eventually left Yanfeng, building his secluded city on the lake and living alone. "I am the weakest among the Emperor's disciples, only at the Chaos Realm peak," Yanyu said self-deprecatingly. "In direct combat, I'm not confident I could defeat Lord Luoyin. Ninjiang, I can't help you." Ninjiang pressed harder. "How can you give up without fighting? How can you know you can't win unless you try? How can you grow stronger if you never test yourself?" Yanyu's expression darkened. "I told you to leave." The world around Ninjiang shifted, and when he could see clearly again, he was already back in Zhujiang Chao's state. He felt helpless. Yanyu's array formation realm was indeed formidable. Ninjiang did not believe Lord Luoyin could contend with him. But Yanyu was too timid. No matter who invited him, he never left his city. Back in the pavilion, Yanyu looked at the city model before him, picked up his carving knife, and resumed his work. In his heart, this city was his life's dedication. "The day I finish this city and carve it perfectly," he thought as he worked, "will be the day I become a god king, and then I will return." Chapter 98, Morosa's Body Refining Method, Volume 2, Chapter 30, Morosa's Body Cultivation Method. After breaking through to the Chaos Realm, Luo Feng left only a divine power clone outside, while his true body concentrated on cultivation within the Star Tower. "Now that I've reached this realm, I can see the shortcomings in my 2 lines of inheritance," he murmured. His master Zuo Shank's line offered no God King level inheritance for body refinement. His master had clearly never favored the refining path. The Duandong He lineage did preserve 3 God King level inheritances left by the 3rd generation ancestor: Broken Extinction, Donghua, and Undying River. But those were all paths the ancestor himself had followed. What Luo Feng needed now was a god-king level inheritance tailored to life and to the great path of destruction. For an eternal true god, the pursuit is mastery of chaos laws, Luo Feng thought. Any inheritance that broad would suit them. But for Chaos Realm cultivators, who have already mastered chaos laws, the next step is to comprehend the origin great paths. He sensed the heavens and earth and glimpsed, faintly, the many origin great paths hidden beyond chaos, distinct threads that together formed the supreme rule governing everything in the world. Without a suitable god-king level inheritance to guide him, Luo Feng felt stuck. Were he any other top-tier eternal true god, the Lord of Yu's recruitment would have already made him a disciple. The Lord of Yu could grant appropriate god-king inheritances. For now, Luo Feng could only hope his god-king inheritance would come from the Emperor Chu lineage of the Yanfeng ancient kingdom. Emperor Chu had to break through before he could recruit Luo Feng as a guest elder. He pushed those worries aside. Lacking a proper god-king inheritance, he would make do with suitable Chaos Realm inheritances for the moment. The higher one climbed in the Chaos Great Strength diagram, the more demanding the refining methods and the rarer the materials required. The fourth refinement of his perfect divine body would demand immense resources. "I'm too poor to finish that method," he admitted. The inheritance's ceiling was low. It was only a Chaos Realm method, and at this stage, refining techniques changed qualitatively. Even with his talent and Shang Tianyan's earlier guidance, he'd only managed 3 refinements as an eternal true god. Now the cost and difficulty rose sharply. The resources he had earned would be better spent on the Emperor Chu inheritance. Good steel should be used for the blade. The Breaking World 9 blades could be studied longer. That blade technique steered toward the great path of destruction, even if it was only Chaos Realm level. Luo Feng spent time researching it. Only 3 of the 9 blades had reached the Chaos Realm. The Chaotic Blade was the first. It relied on chaos laws and hinted at the great path of destruction. The later blades in that set demanded an accumulation in the great path of destruction far beyond Luo Feng's present level. Even the Breaking World blade, which sought to cleave through all layers of space, could not shatter the ultimate cage that confined the world. Breaking World 9 blades perhaps reflected only their creator's aspiration. The Duan Donghe inheritance space offered little help now. It existed mainly to cultivate disciples up to eternal true God. Producing Chaos Realm cultivators from it was already a miracle. Anything beyond that, it only hinted at in recorded guidance. In the City Lord's mansion, in the manor where Luo Feng resided, Morosa was tearing into roasted meat and berating Moyu Qingyan nearby. "Why are you so foolish? You still can't grasp the basics. Your talent is nowhere near your master's." "I wouldn't dare compare myself to the master," Moyu Qingyan said. "I'm actually just one step away from comprehending time law. After 30-plus eras, I've nearly grasped the 10 basic laws. That's not bad." "Shut up," Morosa snapped. "Do you know how many times I've explained time law? Tens of thousands, maybe more. You idiot." Moyu Qingyan bowed his head and listened obediently. He felt deep gratitude toward the Luosa god monarch, Morosa. During those 30-plus eras, his own master had not guided him, but Morosa had constantly explained things. Moyu Qingyan had recently learned that Morosa was a super-powerful eternal true god, stronger than Commander Mo Li Xiao and Blood Cloud, and that Morosa was his master's Dao protector. He was moved to have such a powerful expert so patiently teach him. He now truly regarded Morosa as his master. Crunching the last of the meat, Morosa cleaned his plate when Luo Feng transmitted to him and summoned him into the Star Tower. Morosa complied without resistance. "Master, you called?" he asked. With Moyu Qingyan he could be rough, but before his master he remained deferential. "I want to see how wide the gap is between a newly advanced Chaos Realm cultivator like me and a deeply accumulated Chaos Realm cultivator like you," Luo Feng said. "Compete with me?" Morosa asked. "Master, you broke through only recently. Your divine body is far from mature." "It's not about winning," Luo Feng replied. "I just want to feel the gap." Morosa considered a moment. "I won't burn divine power, and I won't use any Chaos Realm techniques. I'll compete with you purely with my body. That'll let me show about 10% of my strength." If he burned divine power, his strength would multiply. If he used secret techniques, he would be even more formidable. With only his body, he would be restrained. Fine, Luo Feng said, unsparing. He stretched out his hand and the blood shadow blade materialized in his palm. He unleashed broken extinction and burned his divine power to the limit. A flash of blade light erupted, a chaotic blade, the very first of the 3 Chaos Realm blades among Breaking World 9 blades. Where it passed, chaos laws were split open. The blade light carved ravines through several layers of space. The technique drew on hints of the great path of destruction, and Luo Feng, with his own accumulation in that direction, had mastered it after study. The later blades, however, demanded a far deeper accumulation he did not yet possess. Come on, then, Morosa said confidently. He extended a fleshy, padded palm to meet the blade. The skin on his hand dented slightly under the strike and then naturally dissipated the force. Master, that was powerful. If it were twice as strong, it might injure me, he called out. Luo Feng was puzzled. He sheathed his blade. Why did you stop? Morosa looked confused. Why did Master stop? He asked. Luo Feng shook his head. I just broke through not long ago. That was my strongest attack. Morosa blinked. He had said they didn't need to spar, yet the Master insisted. Now the Master looked embarrassed. That shouldn't be, Luo Feng muttered. Even if my divine body is far from its limit, my divine power is very pure, purer than ordinary Chaos Realm cultivators. Burned to the extreme, this blade should at least cut the skin. If Morosa had used body-protecting secret techniques or burned divine power, Luo Feng would have understood. But Morosa had shown only 10% of his strength and still resisted without injury. This, Morosa explained, I'm not a normal cultivator, I'm a world beast. My body naturally develops extreme toughness, far beyond your body cultivation methods. That's why the blade could not pierce my skin. He had always looked down on the Master's methods for body refinement. Much stronger than your body cultivation? Luo Feng admitted. It made sense. A being born with a full great path of destruction would have a body cultivation method superior to the Chaos Great Strength diagram. How do you cultivate your body without consuming precious materials? Luo Feng asked. What is body cultivation to you? Morosa asked in return. For you cultivators, the basic unit composing the body is divine power. For world beasts, the basic unit is world beast power. Body cultivation is about making those basic units combine more efficiently, greatly enhancing defense, strength, and speed. There are different ways to make divine power combine efficiently. Refining the divine body like a weapon or treasure is one path, Morosa said. I don't need resources. I only need to use my comprehension of the great path of destruction to change the structure of my world beast power, and my whole body becomes powerful. But my method isn't suitable for you, Master. I'm a world beast. I contain a world within my body. My cultivation method is about nurturing that world. Morosa extended his hand, and strands of world beast power flowed out and began to weave together. The combination was subtle and intricate, a structure so elegant it made Luo Feng stare. Countless grains linked and organized into patterns that could, in effect, tear the starry sky apart. The shift in the most basic structure of the power changed the whole body's properties. This process required no vast consumption of materials, only the reorganization of world beast power. It was far subtler and deeper than refining the body into a weapon or treasure. Wonderful, Luo Feng breathed. I've long heard that some ancient god kings had extraordinarily profound divine bodies. This must be what they meant. He had only ever heard of Morosa's exquisite body cultivation method from records in his master Zuo Shanka's and the Duan Donghe lineage's archives. Such inheritances were precious even among god-king level treasures. I can try this path, Luo Feng said. He instinctively felt he could imitate 70 to 80% of Morosa's world beast power structure. He lacked a world, and his realm of destruction wasn't as advanced as Morosa's, but as a perfect life, his formless and faceless ability let him transform in many ways, even converting his divine power into a form similar to world beast power. He could imitate and learn from Morosa's method and draw valuable experience from it. Chapter 99, The Spiritual Path of Life, Volume 2, Chapter 31, The Path of Life Spirituality. Luo Feng reached out and wisps of world beast power coalesced, quickly forming a near-perfect structure. Morosa watched in surprise. He already knew his master's divine power could take on the appearance of world beast power, but this body cultivation method was a breakthrough. Luo Feng had achieved only after spending a long time in the Chaos realm. On the surface, it looks similar, but there are still internal differences, Morosa said after careful observation. A hair's breadth makes a world of difference, Luo Feng agreed. My understanding of the origin of destruction isn't as deep as yours, so I can't imitate it perfectly. To genuinely transform into something, one had to understand its composition completely. Otherwise, the result was only a superficial disguise. You could mimic the appearance of a god king and look almost identical, but the inner essence would be entirely different. And it still lacks the world, Morosa added. The world inside your body is the core of this method, the key to such a powerful physique. Luo Feng shook his head. No matter how he shaped the power, he couldn't create a world. He looked at the world beast power structure floating above his palm. It looks flawless, but it's unstable, ready to collapse at any moment. Morosa watched helplessly. He couldn't assist his master. His own growth had been a natural process of eating and consuming. The idea of researching secret cultivation techniques gave him a headache. You go do your own thing, Luo Feng waved, dismissing Morosa. Left alone in the Star Tower, he studied the power structure with silent intensity. It was beautiful. Morosa, a favored child of the origin of destruction, had mastered a body cultivation method that ranked among the highest on the origin continent. Luo Feng dispersed the world beast formation and tried to reproduce it with his divine power. The divine power built an identical shape, but it felt wrong, out of place. No, this is completely off. He modified, simplified, integrated his own concepts, trying every approach he could think of, but still couldn't create a stable divine power structure. My realm is too weak. Trying to research a body cultivation method by imitation alone was wishful thinking, he sighed, dispersing the dozen or so failed formations. I need to raise my realm before I can explore this properly. Looking around, he noticed a sealed corner of this spatial layer where 15 Chaos Layer creatures flitted about freely. As long as they were fed a certain amount of chaos materials, they lived carefree. Luo Feng had often observed Chaos Layer creatures before, but after breaking through into the Chaos realm, their value to him had dropped. Still, something stirred in him. Chaos Layer creatures have extremely simple structures. I've studied them many times, he thought. Why not try transforming into one? His formless and faceless ability had failed when he tried to copy Morosa's body cultivation method, but Luo Feng now set his sights on the Chaos Layer beings. Transform. He pointed a finger and formed a single silver droplet, a very stable construct. I understand chaos laws. These creatures are fundamentally made of silver droplets, he smiled, focusing his chaos divine power to create droplet after droplet. 120 silver droplets floated into being. At first, he watched with satisfaction, but then his brow tightened. No, the droplets wouldn't join. He tried to make them touch and fuse, but they simply refused to merge. True silver droplet creatures actively merged and underwent a qualitative change when they did so. The droplets Luo Feng had created couldn't fuse. Why won't they merge, he wondered. Had he failed to grasp their essence completely? A perfect transformation required a thorough understanding, 100%. In the primordial universe era, he had already confirmed the capabilities of his formless and faceless technique, so he couldn't accept this failure lightly. He reached out and plucked the longest of the silver droplet creatures, a life form composed of 1,091 silver droplets. In the Chaos realm, it had no power to resist him. He separated a single droplet with ease. With a light sweep of his finger, the droplet was sliced and dispersed into silver mist, materialized chaos laws. This silver mist is just condensed chaos divine power. Materialized chaos laws. Luo Feng's expression changed. When he had been an eternal true god before, he'd have recognized this immediately. Now that he had comprehended chaos laws and become a chaos realm cultivator, he saw more. The materialized chaos laws in that droplet carried the characteristics of chaos gold and chaos water, but they also possessed something else, a spark of spirituality. Luo Feng realized he had merely copied the materialized form of chaos laws he understood. But the real silver droplet life had something more. The materialized chaos laws within each droplet seemed to have come alive. He was transported back, by a wisp of his divine avatar memory, to the primordial universe, to the core of the origin, the life origin great path. He stood again before that majestic path. The life origin great path could be perceived in different forms from different angles. Now that he had mastered chaos laws, Luo Feng found understanding it less impossible. His earlier conclusion that silver droplet creatures were only complete chaos laws was wrong. Facing the endless, winding, dragon-like backbone of the life origin, Luo Feng felt a surge of insight. The information embedded in that backbone conjured visions in his mind. Flowers blooming, hatchlings breaking free of shells, an ancient tree suddenly growing a spirit, becoming a plant life form. The spirit of life was the seed of life itself. With a single drop of the spirit of life, even a stubborn rock can awaken and become a rock-type life form, he thought. Silver droplet creatures did not exhibit clear consciousness. They couldn't think or speak. Yet their life essence was exceptionally high. Even a single silver droplet contained life spirituality. In most animals and humans, blood, bones, and muscles do not themselves possess spiritual life. Only when the soul integrates with the body does it become truly alive. Many plant life forms nurture a low level of spirituality through their whole bodies. But for silver droplet beings, each droplet carried life spirituality, and when they fused, the resulting life form was proportionally potent. What I thought was their core, pure, complete chaos laws, was only part of it, Luo Feng realized. Their core is chaos laws integrated with the spirit of life. The level of spirituality isn't extremely high, but it's present. If a divine power included powerful spirituality, each piece of it would seem alive. Its essence would shift. A divine body's strength, speed, and resilience would surge. If desired, even a fraction of one's divine power could develop an independent consciousness and nurture new life. A single drop of his own blood, guided intentionally, could become another vibrant life form, its size limited only by the power he invested. A god king dividing his flesh and blood might spawn thousands of Chaos Realm avatars, though splitting himself would leave him weakened. The path of life spirituality was not just about enlightenment or creating multiple avatars. For those who advanced by that route, the divine body itself was the terror. Their bodies were an elevated form of silver droplet life. Parts of their flesh and blood could condense into weapons. Destroying them would be as difficult as breaking a god-king level secret armament. My realm is still shallow. I can only perceive a portion of the path of life spirituality, Luo Feng admitted, gazing at the endless dragon backbone of the life origin. There were other terrifying possibilities he couldn't yet see. The Snow Realm ancestor, for example, had mastered a branch of the life origin great path and reached an extraordinary level of life-preserving power. Despite monstrous crimes, he still lived. The life origin great path had many branches. The more one mastered, the more formidable one became. If someone could integrate numerous branches, master the complete life origin great path, they would become an embodiment of life itself, like the endlessly winding dragon he perceived. Luo Feng sat cross-legged and absorbed the vast spiritual information contained in that dragon backbone, focusing his study on the aspects most similar to silver droplet spirituality. Days passed. He didn't know how long he sat there, but the more he absorbed, the deeper his understanding grew. At last, after accumulating enough comprehension of life spirituality and the silver droplet essence, Luo Feng felt a calm confidence. He flexed his hand, ready to attempt the transformation once more. I should be able to transform now. Chapter 100, Transformation of Strength. A room on the first floor of the Star Tower. Luo Feng sat cross-legged, gently tapping a finger. A wisp of divine power condensed and a silver droplet formed. The droplet was perfectly spherical, its surface carved with traces of chaos laws that carried the essence of life. It felt like the drawing of the dragon's eyes from Earth myths. By adding life spirituality, the droplet's nature had been utterly changed. How marvelous! Luo Feng watched the silver droplet float in his palm. After fully understanding the droplet's essence and shaping it with the formless and faceless ability of his perfect divine body, his consciousness naturally merged with it. The silver droplet felt like part of his own body. Though the silver light creatures have very low intelligence, they can still feel emotions, like liking, anger, and aggression. A silver droplet can carry consciousness, although only in a very minor way. Luo Feng waved his hand, and a mass of chaos divine power flowed out, dividing into over 1,000 silver droplets. Each droplet possessed a sliver of spirituality, and as soon as they appeared, instinctively sought to join together. Like a human hand whose 5 fingers cooperate instinctively, these droplets wanted to merge. These are successfully transformed silver droplets. Luo Feng smiled. Consciousness and a tendency to merge, this was the power of the silver droplet. Over 1,000 droplets merged, components clicking into a whole, and their power underwent a qualitative change. They reshaped themselves into different weapons: silver blade light, silver sword light, a long silver staff, a shimmering net. In raw power and speed, it's already comparable to General Yonghu of the infinite divine body, Luo Feng thought, but the techniques are clumsy. He poured out more divine power, creating thousands more droplets. They continued to gather, 3,000, 5,000, but nothing significant changed. At 10,000, they formed a silver stream, and the might increased again. These silver light creatures are peculiar. Can they continuously accumulate and change qualitatively? Luo Feng wondered, and pushed further. He transformed tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of droplets. Each droplet contained life spirituality, so even if weak, it required careful attention. He became more efficient at producing them. With a sweep of his hand, millions descended. Finally, when the count reached 100 million, a new qualitative change occurred. Boom, boom, boom. A vast silver river floated in the air. 100 million droplets perfectly merged into a single entity. Even if I wanted to destroy it, it would take effort. Luo Feng slashed at the river. The silver current was immensely tough. It only trembled and scattered slightly. Its strength now rivaled that of a newly advanced Chaos Realm cultivator. Of course, that comparison was for a normal strike. If a newly advanced Chaos Realm cultivator burned their divine power to the limit and fought desperately, their power could surge several times and still suppress this silver river. Can it keep merging? Luo Feng tested further. 200 million, 300 million, a billion. He was patient. The previous jump had been from 10,000 to 100 million, 10,000-fold. With each attempt, his understanding deepened. He summoned tens of millions, then hundreds of millions more. The river held steady. 1 trillion, 2 trillion. As a cultivator who had cultivated for limitless years, Luo Feng wasn't hurried. Even to deepen his grasp of life spirituality, he repeatedly formed vast quantities. Finally, when the total reached 108 trillion droplets, the scattered silver currents converged into a perfect whole. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! A wide silver river, over 100 kilometers long, flowed majestically through the star tower. The power stunned Luo Feng. Go! The river thinned and reshaped, becoming a silver blade of light over 10,000 kilometers long, its normal form. Now it can be small or vast. Luo Feng felt that it was complete. Small, it could fit in his palm. Large, it could span the heavens. Its toughness, power, and speed have increased again. Even with crude technique, it could rival the casual attacks of an ordinary Chaos Realm cultivator. An ordinary Chaos Realm cultivator is the lowest tier among Chaos Realm strengths. Those who have just broken through usually lie low to refine combat secrets, life-saving techniques, and body-refining arts, consolidating strength in every aspect. Because Chaos Realm cultivators have effectively unlimited lifespans, even those in lower tiers can, with long accumulation, reach mid-tier. For example, an infinite divine body cultivator, whose divine body reaches its limit, sits at mid-tier. Adding powerful secret techniques and further cultivation elevates them toward top-tier. Top-tier Chaos Realm cultivators are already formidable, sometimes nearly touching God King level. Mastery of over 99% of a branch of the Origin Great Path leaves just the final bottleneck to break through. That's the Primal Chaos Realm peak. Lord Luyan stands at such a level. Only a few elites, often from the 2 great ancient kingdoms with rare secret techniques that surpass usual God King arts, can exceed Primal Chaos Realm peak. The 108 trillion droplet silver river finally has the strength of a casual blow from an ordinary Chaos Realm cultivator. Luo Feng considered it. Normal Chaos Layer creatures are clumsy and of low intelligence, but this was transformed by me, and my consciousness controls it. My realm isn't low." He smiled. Cut! At his thought, the vast silver blade sprang forward with terrifying speed, slicing through operations of chaos laws, tearing through multiple layers of space, and cutting out a black spatial rift. Luo Feng estimated its power as perhaps 2 or 3/10 of his previous full-strength attack. Can it keep accumulating? He asked himself aloud. Although he felt it was complete, he continued. Now, a single wave of divine power produced hundreds of millions of droplets. He treated the process as cultivation. His perfect divine body wasn't at its limit, but it was vast. He could naturally form huge numbers of droplets. He regarded each 108 trillion droplet blade as a unit and transformed half of his current divine body into silver droplets. In total, he produced 1.2 billion such units. But beyond that, no further qualitative change occurred. It probably can't change further, Luo Feng concluded. The space within the star tower filled with an immense silver ocean. Luo Feng sat cross-legged atop that ocean. It was the convergence of 1.2 billion units of silver blade light. This silver droplet form has a few flaws. Luo Feng thought through them. First, it gets hungry easily. It can't absorb ordinary heavenly or earthly energy. It must be chaos power, chaos crystals, or even purer chaos divine power. Fortunately, his small universe provided a constant supply of limitless chaos divine power, so sustaining the silver rivers wasn't difficult. The second flaw, it isn't divine power, so it can't drive weapons or secret treasures. Where ordinary body-refining methods simply made divine power more efficient, Luo Feng's transformation changed the basic unit. Divine power became the silver droplet form. Silver droplets couldn't independently draw power from heaven and earth, couldn't empower weapons or treasures, and, the third flaw, they can't be burned like divine power. Their normal form is already their maximum power. Chaos Layer creatures had weaknesses, but those didn't diminish their advantages. 1 unit of silver light creature, when performing the chaotic blade, equals an ordinary Chaos Realm cultivator's full power strike while burning divine power to the limit. So what about 10 units? Luo Feng tried. 10 blades shot out of the silver ocean, each executing the same chaotic blade. Their combined might equaled 10 desperate Chaos Realm cultivators, each burning themselves to the limit. Luo Feng's mental will and soul were strong enough to multitask. The chaotic blade itself was a simple technique. More blades rose, practicing the move. The star tower was steady and secure, letting Luo Feng refine his experiment. Eventually, 300 blades of light rose, each immense, simultaneously performing the chaotic blade. If 300 ordinary Chaos Realm cultivators each unleashed full power, divine power burning strikes, they would create comparable devastation. Boom, 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 the 300 silver blades tore through dense layers of space. I've discovered a new body-refining transformation, myriad transformations that adopt the characteristics of special creatures, Luo Feng said, thrilled. This method was unique to him. The formless and faceless ability made such transformations smooth. This method isn't a great path, he reflected. He had faced the life origin great path and knew the difference. The true ultimate of the body is to comprehend the deep, inherent rules of the divine body, becoming like the convergence of an entire great path. I'm only in the chaos realm. I haven't even mastered a branch of the great path. The ultimate is still far away. Luo Feng understood his limits. In the early stages of approaching the complete great path, these myriad transformations offered advantages and helped him to comprehend the great path further. Whoosh. Luo Feng's mind moved, and he brought Morosa into the star tower again. Master. Morosa looked at him with bright enthusiasm. Morosa, let's spar again, Luo Feng said with a smile. Morosa froze. Spar again? The last time, Master's full power blade couldn't even break my palm skin, and I was holding back. He blinked. Master, wait until your divine body grows to its limit before we spar properly. The gap is too large. What's the point? I could just stand there and let you hit me, and you still couldn't break my skin.